Tell Santa what you really want.
Covino and Rich.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Oh! Put that cookie down now!
Oh my God!
I'm looking for miracle trees. Miracle trees.
Merry Christmas, little Timmy. Merry Christmas, little Timmy.
Merry Christmas!
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Everybody! Feliz Navidad, everybody!
Covino and Rich.
Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
All right, it's another show. Woohoo! All right, it's a Wednesday that feels like a Thursday. It should be Friday. It's like, let's get the holidays on already. Let's go. I don't like all this waiting around. That's Rich Davis live from LA. I'm Covino live from Potato Land, Sweet Potato Land, live from Idaho. Spot is in his cabin. Thank you guys for being here. What's up, Rich?
Oh, not much. A lot to get to today. Some NFL, some Christmas shit, some money, some COVID, some butt cheeks that I want to talk about that you're going to want to hear this story. So,
I mean, don't we always talk about butt cheeks?
like we do everything. Let's rock out and
Let's
talk
be
about
rocking out. Let's do this. All right. Rocking out is what we like to do, no matter where we are. That's what we do. COVID, you're going to talk about how there's 150-something people in the NFL with COVID. Travis Kelce being one of them now.
Yeah, I wanted to just bring up a COVID argument I was having with someone, but it had nothing to do with vaccines. It was just more of a numbers argument.
Okay,
We'll
good.
get to that. We'll get to the theory I have that is, I'll simply put it this way. We love to say everyone's equal, but not everyone is equal. Yeah, people are equal under the eyes of the law, and every man, woman, race, color should get equal treatment. But not everyone's equal. And I'll explain what that means coming up.
All right. Do you mind if I rock my shades today? I'm facing the beautiful landscape of Idaho, and it's just too bright for my COVID-sensitive eyes. Speaking of COVID, I'm not even kidding you. I can't even open my eyes here. Between the ring light and just the backdrop, I can't even open my eyes. I'm having eye issues for real, guys. That's why they're all swollen, and that's why I look this way. I think I have conjunctivitis. I'm not even kidding you. I think I have pink
Honestly,
eye or something.
conjunctivitis, pink eye.
Yeah.
We joke you were helping Spot jar his farts, and that's how it happened.
Yeah.
But the reality is, one of the side effects of COVID, I mean, you had it like a month ago, but still, one of the side effects is conjunctivitis and some eye issues like that.
Actually, October 23rd, I think, is when we got it, but still dealing with it. Unfortunately, I think, it just happened so suddenly, the loss of vision and stuff like that. So I imagine it has something to do with that. But anyway, I'm not here to harp on that. I'm here to say good day, good tidings.
Well, all the
Excited
things
for the
you speak
holidays,
of,
excited to do the show. Hope you're having a great week so far.
all the things you speak of as far as like sensitivity to light, all the blurriness.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had conjunctivitis, pink eye. Those are the symptoms. So it could very well be that it's not COVID related at all. You got pink eye and you've sort of had it, and that's what you're dealing with,
Yeah, my eyes are constantly tearing up, and they don't even feel good until maybe like midday, where I could focus and see a little bit. And then at night and in the morning, they're all swollen and gooey. And, that's what I'm dealing with for the past few days. And I had an issue with that while I was driving on my way here. So if you missed it, like Brad clearly missed it. What's up, Brad? Says, can't wait to hear about the road trip. We talked all about that yesterday on the show. So we were live yesterday. If you missed anything, we haven't missed a show. On Friday, we'll be live on Fox Sports Radio from noon to 4 on the West. Noon to 4 on the West, so foxsportsradio.com. But anyway, let the wild rumpus start. Let's get into this. Sports, entertainment, life. We have a friend in need today. And, yeah, sports. I'll start off by saying I didn't do a whole lot yesterday. After the show, I just loaded up on a lot of turbo. A lot of
rocking out.
Bro, how do you hold all that rock
That's
inside you? How do you hold all that rock?
That's another reason why I'm so tired, Spot. Yeah, I'm so tired.
You're carrying the rock world on your
the
shoulders.
neck snapping from all the fist pumping to the rock. I'm just exhausted. But I did a lot of turbo to get ahead through the holidays, and like we mentioned yesterday, everybody takes off. Everybody takes off. So,
by the way, one of the things that let me give you a little behind the velvet rope as far as the Sirius XM stuff goes. When Covino's on Turbo or Octane or Ozzy, or I'm on Pop 2K or Hits One, The Pulse, there are times where, you're right, out of nowhere, people are just like, I'm off today. I'm not working. And I'm like, I've never done that. I'm like, maybe I should do that more often, because it seems like every week it's like, hey, can you fill in for Spider Harrison? I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess so. But like, I've never been like, hey, it's like a Tuesday, I'm not feeling it. Can you fill in for me? Never did that once. And I'm like, maybe I should.
Ever.
Right. Like the only time
This is my 20th year of voice tracking.
Wow. I was going to say the only time I've ever seen any of you guys have to like cancel something is if something catastrophic happened, or like your internet went down, or even then you're trying to like fill in and do your shit.
That, and it's another thing too. The other behind the velvet rope thing is when there's specialty programming, it's like a bonus. And Covino knows what I'm talking about. Again,
Bonus.
This is just show. Like if there's like a Pat Monahan of Train has a special called Train Tracks, and if that airs during your show, you're like, sweet, less recording I need to do. And around the holidays, there's a lot of that shit. So last night I was like, let me do the Pulse. I was like, oh, wait, there's a holiday countdown and my Andy Grammer interview and something else? Wait, I don't have to do the Pulse tonight? Like, you get those little bonus days once in a while.
Yeah, but for every little Duff McKagan is doing his 1 hour special, or Ozzy Speak, for every one of those things, there's a countdown that you have to do, especially around the holidays.
Yeah.
And you put extra effort into countdowns. You know, you want your breaks to sound very Spider Harrison, on point, coming in at number 5. You just want it to sound good.
Yeah. Oh,
so
no,
that takes longer.
Trust me.
So just a lot of that yesterday.
From
a lot
the
of lounging.
From the Shinfo perspective, I've done the Pop 2 year-end countdown, the Hits 1 year-end countdown, the Pulse top 30 songs of the year, the Pop Christmas countdown. Like, yeah, I'm recording all this shit, so I'm with you. But then the benefit is then they start airing those things during your show, so maybe it's a little less recording afterwards. But again, just Shinfo. And let me go grab Ben real quick. Do you hear him in the background or no?
He is. I've heard him the whole show. I was going to ask you, like,
Yes.
what the fuck is Ben doing?
Sarah,
Is he sitting in my seat?
Emmy was running late for school this morning, so Emmy usually gets dropped off at like 8:45, and we start at 9. But today, you know, it's like Christmas week, so everyone's a little on delay. So Sarah should be back any minute. So she's like, I'm just going to put Ben in his high chair in the studio. Yo, he is trying to escape this thing so bad. You know what, Spot? Can I give you?
You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to escape so he can take my Mariano Rivera figure and break it.
Do not do that. Do not.
Yeah, exactly. Tell him it's Franklin Mint. Chill with that.
No. He's Spot. Do you have if I click on the link, can I do Dickie's screen share or no?
Yes.
That's I don't even know if I have that. Do I have the Zoom link here? Yeah, I do.
It's gonna mess up the shots, but that's okay. I'll figure it out.
He is desperately trying to get out of this thing.
To draw a fart on the wall. That's what he's trying to do.
Hey, wait, hold on.
Hold on.
No, wait, he's there, Sarah. Wait, hold on. There he is. He's just Ben.
Hold on. Hold on.
Terrible timing, Sarah. All right, forget it. Just forget it.
Oh, she ruined it. She ruined it. She ruined it.
Now he was making noise for the last 10 minutes, so and he was trying to desperately escape his high chair. And the minute we get the camera on him, you walk in and he's like, "Oh, hi, mommy." Yeah, you should be.
Way to go, Sarah.
Way to ruin Christmas,
dude. Why don't you yell at her on national radio?
Way to go, Sarah.
Ruin the holiday season.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Look what you did, you little jerk. I love you.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
All right. Well, hey.
So, yeah, to wrap up our previous discussion, in 20 years, I don't think I've really called out to voice track a music channel because you could record ahead of time. You know, there's no need. If I needed tomorrow off, I could do that the day before.
Yeah.
So if people are calling out for the holidays or because their toe hurts or I don't know, for whatever reason, Rich and I are like, yeah, I'll pick that up. No problem. That's extra money for me. Not for Rich, but for me, it's extra money. And I'll do that. But yeah, I'm approaching my 20th year at Sirius XM 2022. And man, I've never done that shit, but I'll reap the benefits of everybody else calling out. Look, let's be honest. I'm not calling anybody out specifically. In general, there's just a lack of work ethic. There's a lot of people in this country that got a taste of what it's like to be lazy and not work. Nobody really wants to work anymore, period. I see that as opportunity.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm going to continue working.
However, I mean, because you get paid if you pick up more. I'm saying, are we missing out, or for years, did you miss out on doing what everyone else did? Like,
no, it doesn't matter paid or not, because while people are being lazy, if you keep pushing ahead, you're going to get ahead. You're going to you're going to move forward.
Yeah,
you
but
know? So fuck that. Let everybody else be lazy.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying, like, if they were like, hey, Spider Harrison's out this week again, can you fill in? He's not getting paid any less, and I don't think Spider Harrison's going anywhere. So isn't he just winning, and I'm the guy that just keeps filling in?
Cream rises to the top, Rich. You know, I think when all's said and done, people will look at, well, who's calling out all the time? Who's putting the work in?
I don't think
people
notice. Spot will back you up. Spot did more work than anyone at SiriusXM, and no one ever cared.
People don't care. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like people want or expect the bare minimum. The people that you're dealing with on a daily basis, you know, they're content with what you're doing. Maybe as it goes up the chain, eventually it's like if the up the chain even heard about it, they might question it, but it never gets up the chain. You think?
I don't know.
You think
you guys sound like you have a defeatist attitude, man. Hard work pays off. I still believe in that. Hard work pays off.
I don't have a defeatist
hard work
used
to pay off.
Yeah, you're clinging to an old school ideology, and I'm not saying don't work hard, but if you think the whole like, hey, work on the holiday, work on, fill in and pick up this and do that. Like, if you think bosses notice that shit, I've watched people in multiple companies we work for put in all the efforts, and you know what they end up doing? Leaving and going to a different company because eventually they get fed up for not getting recognized.
Do you know the expression "rising tide raises all ships"? Do you know that expression?
Yeah.
So like as the excellence around you rises and you're part of that excellence, you rise with it, right? I believe lowering tides lower all ships. I think it's at the point now where the level of excellence expected by everyone else is slowly decreasing. So you rising above that is really not making a difference. Everyone's just kind of slowly lowering down, and that's what everyone expects.
I hear what Covino's saying, Spot. He's saying,
I know. I agree.
So you want to do that?
No,
I don't want to be on that shit.
No.
That's a sinking ship, bro.
Time
That's
out.
a sinking ship.
There's confusion. Spot nor neither one of us are saying, yeah, you know what? If other people are lazy, fuck it, I'll be lazy too. That's not what we're saying. We're saying the people that are lazy, you think that's noticed. And I think we're saying, yeah, you could work hard and get acknowledgement, but I don't think the lazy people get called out. I think they just fucking float by and no one notices.
Yeah, I really do.
Bro, think about it. Think about the people you've worked with in any job. Like,
well, I hope you're wrong.
The good person might be rewarded here or there, and that's the nice story, right? Like when you see the person that's busted their ass gets finally promoted that they deserve, the promotion they worked their ass off for. But the reality is, look at people we've worked with, associate producers and people behind the scenes, and eventually they were like, yo, I'm not getting my due. I'm out of here. Look at Archie. Archie was fucking great. Eventually, Archie's like, dude, I got an offer from another company because this company doesn't even want to really pay me or acknowledge what I do.
Yeah, I think, and like, that mentality of never taking vacation and never enjoying yourself or having to take a sick day when you don't feel well. It's like, I think with the great resignation, as it's called now, after COVID, where people are realizing that they shouldn't they shouldn't just settle for their job. I think companies are starting to notice that as well. So I think, obviously maintain your work ethic, but don't feel bad when you have to do what the other person is doing because no one else is feeling bad. Don't feel bad.
Well, I think we could all agree on one thing. We could all agree on that the world has gotten lazy. So it's a matter of, do you join them or do you fucking continue with your own work ethic?
I think it's a combination of slightly laziness, but I also think it's people realizing that they don't need to live to work. They need to work to live.
Yeah.
By the way, just like Covino mentioned the other day, if you see me looking down at my phone a lot and you're on tier 2, I don't want you to think I'm like looking at other shit and checked out. That's where I'm reading the feedback today. I'm streaming our YouTube video on Patreon. That's how I'm seeing our comments today. So, You could do that, or at Covino and Rich. Who said it best? Gabe Moreno.
Love that guy.
Smart work pays off, not hard work pays off. Like the old adage of, work hard, it'll pay off. No, work smart.
That's what
work
my
smart.
McPapa said.
Make your connections, like network the right way, and also work hard. But hard work alone will not get you to the top. You've seen it so many times where a hard worker just gets overlooked because they don't network, they don't know the right people, and they just work hard and think that's enough. And it's not. It's not.
I dedicated myself to a company, and they were just like, sorry, can't find anything for you. But this fucking schmo over here that doesn't know what they're doing and always came to me for help still has a job.
Yeah, there's people at
You
Sirius.
talking about Rich or like
the
collective schmo?
The collective schmo. The collective schmo.
Me.
You know Joe? You know Joe Schmo? That guy.
So anyway,
The way you looked at him, it looked like you thought he was talking about you.
I'm facing
So, yeah, I
towards
did a
you.
lot
If
of
anything,
that
I'm looking towards
yesterday.
you.
But I get paid. I get paid to do that shit. So yeah, I'll pick up the slack of some lazy motherfucker
Right.
any day of the week. I'll do that. And I just lounged around, to be honest. Went to some local spots around here, like not local, like there's chains around here that we don't have. So I get excited about them because we don't have
Oh,
them.
like what?
Like Zupas. Like, have you ever heard of Zupas?
No.
There's like soup and sandwich spots, like Kneaders and Zupas and things like that.
Oh,
that
it gets cold up there. You need a lot of soup.
Yeah, it's
Soup
like
isn't
soup
big
and
in LA.
salad, soup and sandwich, that sort of thing. So I get excited about it. I got like a spicy pumpkin chorizo soup or some shit like that. It was fantastic. So little things like that are a thrill. Might be going skiing this week. I'm not sure. We're still planning things out day by day. Got dinners to have with family and things like that.
Are you
But
gonna use,
ended up at another store. Like I'm trying to get some last minute shopping in too, like most people, right? Because I could never find those Chuck Taylors for my daughter. Could never find them. So I said to myself, well, maybe I could find a different pair of Chuck Taylors here in Idaho. I don't know, at some local
That
store.
happens.
by the way, are you and Jordan exchanging with her family, or do you doing that random thing where it's like pick one person's name out of a hat? All right, we got Uncle Hank. Like, are you doing gifts for everybody, or is it like everyone's got one person?
No, we just bought for her like parents and stuff. That's it.
Okay.
Or she did. I didn't buy shit for anybody. I'm here. I'm the gift. Hey, that keeps on giving. What's up, Steve? Good to see you. Bring it in. Come here, Uncle Hank.
I'm here. I'm here to
my
give high
gift.
fives.
Yeah. No, they don't make a big deal about that. I'm out by Christmas. I'm leaving Christmas Day. That's when they're doing their whole Christmas, how do you do? I'm leaving Christmas Day. I'm heading back to LA. But last night I went to one of those stores that like we don't have that I'm sure other people know. And I can't even remember the name of it, Rich. It's like Herm Edwards or something. Herm Edwards, and it's like a big Target.
Herm Edwards,
Not the football coach. Yeah, not the football coach. It's something like that. It's like Herb Phillipson's, or I forget the name of it, but it's just some random guy. I'm like, what is this store? I thought it was going to be some sort of like hunting store, but it's like a big Target. It's like a big, I don't know what it is, but they have everything, and everything except for Converse. So we went there.
Is it Fred
looked
Meyer?
around. What is it? Herb Meyer. That's
No,
what it is.
Fred Meyer.
Fred Meyer. That's it. Fred Meyer.
Is it really Fred Meyer?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's it.
Is it across from a Dutch Brothers coffee?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that different shit out here. Again, I'm sure they're chains and they're found in other cities and other states, just not the ones that
Is it
I go
this?
to,
Fred Meyer?
where I'm from, I should say.
Is that it?
Yeah, Fred Meyer. I went to that place. Yeah.
Ed
And I was like, what's in here? Some camping equipment? I was like, this is like a big Target. I didn't know. They had a bunch of bullshit.
Fred.
And then last night, Rich, I didn't get to watch much football because I was doing a lot of running around. We went to visit her mom and shit like that. I finally went for the first time in a long time, finally went to the gym because where I'm staying, Dallas and Colton's place, they have a gym. So it's the first time I went to the gym in a long ass time between COVID and being sick and everything else. So that was a fun experience. Jordan and I got a little workout in.
What'd you work on? Head and childhood issues?
I worked on my childhood issues. Yeah, still trying to figure shit out. Really hasn't helped much, but it was a good sort of feeling of, all right, let me test myself. Let me see where I'm at physically. Let me see where my lung capacity's at.
That's weird. I didn't know you went to the gym. You didn't post a daily swole shot.
I don't do what Spot does. Yeah, I don't do that.
How do you know? How do you have accountability for yourself if you don't
I
have
was
a
gonna
daily
say,
swole?
if you don't post a daily swole shot, did you really go to the gym?
I don't know anyone that feels themselves more than Spot. And he claims that we have big egos. The guy got a taste of muscle. He
I've
got a taste, and he's all full of
This
himself.
looks like more of a
never
taste.
I've never seen such
This
a
isn't
thing,
a
but
taste.
I get it. Like it's deep down inside, it's like it's accountability.
It's
but
accountability.
but it is pretty funny that if we did something like that, holy shit.
Oh man, I
What,
mean,
go
we're
to the gym?
treated as if we do, but we don't. I
Do
don't
it.
think I ever did.
Do it. Feel yourself.
I've never been that way ever.
Steve posted a picture of his bicep and wrote "Swole Day." People would be like, "You're the biggest jerk off of all time." You do it, it's like cute.
Well, it's because
Yes,
it's my
you're
personality.
absolutely right.
I've never been that guy, so me doing it is like.
But guess
like,
what?
wow, good
I've
for
never
you.
been that guy either. Yet that's the pic.
Nah,
that's the
you've always
picture
been like
paint of me.
you've always been like a
Never.
handsome ego guy.
But I've never done that. I've never. That's how you perceive me.
When do you spot?
Would you create a
Or-
montage?
when
Would you
does-
create a
when-
montage of yourself going to the gym? Because that's your big thing.
When
Montages.
does
Montages.
when does it go from spots like the guy that really transformed himself to like now you are ego guy? When does that happen? Are we there almost?
I mean, I wear a tank top every day. What do you? I mean, I feel like we're there.
We
But
might
people-
be.
but people
At first it was like, man, Spot, we're really proud of you. Everyone's proud of you. Look at you, you're the man. Look at you. You lost all that weight. You're getting muscles. When does it turn from that to like, all right, dude, let's fucking chill with the swole bicep photos?
I don't
Or
know.
does it not? Are you that
When
guy
I see
now?
when I see my biceps swole up in the mirror, I'm like, oh, this is a good photo. I'm gonna take it. I don't know. I don't know when I stop.
I mean, you're the girl that does a 10-second TikTok dance and just flips up at the end her skirt so you can see her butt, and she's like, "Yeah, people want that."
They do. They want it. You should see all
I
the
think
comments I get.
it's a really telling tale, to be honest, because Rich and I are treated as if we are egomaniacs. But even at our most arrogant, we were never, ever the type of people to do stuff like that. You get in shape
Arrogance
for a
arrogance
year
shows
and
in
you're
different
fucking
ways.
flexing on camera. So who's really the guy to potentially have the bigger ego? That would be you.
Arrogance shows in different ways.
Yeah, but for instance, though, Covino's saying he never in his life posted a swole shot. You've worked out a year of your life, and you have. So maybe deep down inside, you have more Rick Martel arrogance than you thought.
I acknowledge that I'm arrogant.
Okay.
Is that what you
that's
want
it.
from me? I don't know what you want me to say.
No, but I didn't post. Rich
I'm
brought it up.
I'm proud. I'm
For the
proud
record,
of.
Rich brought it up.
I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of the work I do.
When did Spot become an Instagram sleut? Let's see.
I'm proud of the work I do, and I
should-
do it.
you
and-
should be.
and I like and I like
Well, how
to.
come if it was back in the day when that was a priority for Rich and I,
You never did it.
we'd be looked down upon had we done that,
It was a different time.
and we're still treated that way.
Double standard.
It is a double
Oh,
standard.
I'm sorry, you guys are so persecuted. How do you live? How do you like get up in the morning?
I agree. Hey, for the record, I agree with Rich.
Oh,
He
why don't
brought it up,
why don't you guys bump each other's cocks and bump each other's
No, I'm
chests?
gonna give him my holiday handshake.
Your
our
bro
holiday
handshake.
By the way, let's see. Don't stop, Spot, please. Kim loves the thirst traps.
It's and you know what makes me happy? First of all, it's all dudes that hit me up. It's motivational to a lot of people because a lot of people know what a big porker I was, and they see me doing it and see me keeping it up, like still doing it, and not just have did it for like a month, and they're like, well, that's great. How do you do it? How do you stay motivated? What's your secret? What's your secret?
What
So-
is your secret?
You know what? The two of you that have been handsome and in shape your entire lives will never understand. You'll never
if we
understand.
wanted to, we could easily let ourselves go. For the past month and a
Yeah,
half, you could say I've done that.
But still, I'm saying you'll never understand what it's like to go from rags to riches. What it's like to go from big to like kind of in shape.
I sort of know what you're talking about because high school, early college, from then until I hit my early 20s and sort of came into my own, I went from insecure around pretty girls to like being like, oh, I can get that pretty girl.
Yeah,
So I
but
know what
it's
you're talking
different.
about.
No,
And at first, your ego does kick in a little bit, dude. You guys make fun of me. I was a fucking dweebus with pimples and braces, and I was fucking in the marching band and everything. And then it just so happened, I happened to get on the radio in New York, and I came into my own. I lost my fucking pimples and filled out a little bit. So, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So
but if you had had that transformation 20 years later,
I know.
it would have been a bigger deal because you would have been on social media and you would have been posting it.
Trust me. My friend Christina said there was like a moment in time where she's like friend Christina always says, because I've known her since I'm 5. She's like, you've always been the same doofus I've known my whole life. there was one moment in time in your early 20s where I had to give you a little kick in the ass one time, like, all right, slow down there, hotshot, because it was probably when I first started Z100. I was starting to get girls that I never got before. I had gained like 20 pounds of muscle. Remember, I went from like 160 pounds skinny fucking pinhead to like, I was in shape. And Christina's like, all right, like, just, I'm giving you the warning as your best friend. Don't go that way. And I was like,
well,
right.
what did you do though? Do you remember what you did in that moment or no?
No, because
were you posting daily glam shots? Or?
No, I think it
Daily
was.
glam?
I went from
daily glam.
Daily
I went
glam.
from, I'll tell you, I went from like nerdy Long Island kid that never got like the hot Guidette. Keep
Daily glam.
You guys are jerk offs. I went from dating
Daily glam.
like the sweet, nice Long Island girl to like banging the Guidette from Jersey or Long Island. And my friends were like, I get it, but like, know who you are. Because think about it, Spot. My dating pool went from like, like the nice, average looking, sweet girl on Long Island, because I was like the nerdy type of guy. All of a sudden, there's some fucking girl with big fake titties named Gina in Jersey. And I'm like, hey guys, this is Gina. And people are like, really? That
Implicitly.
So I went through that stage, probably, Covino, 22 to 24, around that window of time. 22 to 24, I was like, all right, fucking
And if you
know who you are.
And if it was that were 2021, you would have been posting photos of you with all these hot bitches.
No, Spot, I told you,
titties.
my buddy,
The big titties
my
in your face
best
every
friend,
day.
checked me. I'm not saying we're checking you. I'm just saying it's funny how you
Sounds
could
like
do
you are.
it.
Sounds like you're
because
trying
of your
to.
Spot.
No, not at all. I think Rich is pointing out the differences. If we were to do that, we would be like, what a bunch of arrogant, cocky dickheads. When Spot does it, it's like, oh.
Why don't
Look
you
at a
try?
guy.
Why don't you try it and see the reaction you get?
Adam is saying that.
I get that reaction, and I don't even do that.
Adam was saying you guys were athletes when you were kids and in high school and college. Like, you guys stayed athletic, so you don't know the transformation Spot knows. People say they want more Spot pictures.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, bulge
They want bulge shots? I'll do
Lisa's
more
saying
bulge.
she doesn't get a daily swole pic. Where do you get this?
You got to sign up for my Instagram.
Yeah. How do you miss it?
Let me tell you.
They're on @Spot Center on social
And
media.
and I call it Daily Soul, but it's not daily. It's like every fucking few days.
Are you guys not following?
Tony said Rich went to glamour shots at the mall. That shit's
True.
funny. With the fucking very hazy filter. I was like,
Yeah, it's called the glam filter.
The glam filter.
To be honest,
and by the way, I'm still nerdy. You're right, Bill. I'm still nerdy. It just, my job and life created just better, fun opportunities. But yeah, I'm still that same doofus. But in my 20s, I went through what Spot's going through now, which is that, ooh, I'm feeling myself for the first time. So Spot, I don't get it. That's why I don't bust your balls. I'm just pointing it out because I get it. Like, you're feeling yourself a way you never felt yourself. When I was in high school, I would never have approached the popular girls. When I was like 22, I was like, yo, I'm going to fuck all the popular girls from my high school. So I get it. I get it 100%.
yeah, that's
Spot's saying he had to hide his fucking torso in clothing his whole life. Now he's got fucking sweet biceps. What?
Yeah, but that's also like the nerd in high school who gets money and then, becomes successful and goes on a power trip. You know what I mean? Like, it all leads to power trip to some degree.
If Spot was being...
Do you think I'm on a power trip because I post
Yeah.
photos of my swollenness?
No, I mean...
Your attitude has changed.
Your attitude has
But my
changed.
attitude has changed regardless. My attitude's morphed over the before I was
I'm not
swole.
saying
My
this isn't
attitude's
directed
changed.
toward you, but everyone's attitude changes. Does it change for the better? Like the example I gave, like the nerd in high school who became successful, bought a yacht, has hot chicks all over the place. The guy's on a power trip because he was a nerd in high school, right? So he's a little more vengeful and he does things because of that. Did his attitude change for the better? I don't know. His attitude changed for the better. I don't know.
I told you that I admit there was like probably a year of my life where I probably needed to check myself a little bit. 22, 23 years old. Well, I was like, oh, wow, this is the life I could live now. And I do remember some of my friends pulling me aside like, really? You're bringing that girl to hang out with us? And like, 'cause my friends are like nice, good people, and it's like, hey guys, this is Stephanie. I met her at the Jersey Shore. Hi, I've been there.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that. I saw some meme that said something about like people with tattoos and piercings, or people who look different in Jersey. That would be people with high Guidette hair, who you said were Jersey whores.
Yeah.
Some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And it's the people that think they're the nicest people are the biggest scumbags.
Yeah.
Sometimes, so it's hard to judge people just based on that. Just for conversation's sake, I'm bringing those things up.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure.
I have a question.
But I didn't post a picture. I didn't take a picture. I'm nowhere near in shape enough to be taking pictures at all. I don't want to even be on camera right now. I feel like shit.
Is that the reason that you're upset by my soulness?
I'm not upset at all.
Do you feel insecure with your own body, that it upsets you that I decide to show my soulness?
You think he's insecure because of you?
Yeah.
No.
not at
I'm
all.
saying, do you feel insecure? Are you projecting your own insecurities?
I didn't even bring it up
towards me. Or is Rich doing that? Rich, are you
I didn't
projecting
even bring
your
it
own?
up. I couldn't give a fuck.
I truthfully,
Are you projecting your own insecurities towards me?
I don't. I mean, if I don't really even want to get into it, so no, I'm good.
No.
What do you mean?
Definitely not.
You brought it up.
Definitely.
I've been up and down always, and I'm so used to that.
What don't you want to get into?
I know that if I'm not in shape, that's when I get into high gear again.
wrong?
So
Oh, by the way,
What
how
don't you want to bring up?
handsome-
No, let's keep going.
Let's see.
Come on.
I'm just reading the.
I'll answer your question and say no.
Do you want to?
It's just
do you want to?
it's nothing I've ever done ever.
Do you want to
I
save
went
this
to the
for?
gym. Those are like private moments for me.
Do you
Like,
wanna
you know what I mean? I wouldn't post that shit.
I want to know. I want to know what you were going to say. Either that,
Preston.
or you can save it for tomorrow's airing of grievances. Festivus airing of grievances tomorrow.
Preston said, "Guys, this is a great point. So I want to bring this up. Preston's right. She goes, Spot was an athlete. He played one season of soccer.
That's
so
very true.
I take that back.
2 seasons.
Hey, we don't know how
seasons.
good that season was.
2 seasons.
By the way, Mauser brings up a good point. If you know Spot, I think we're all sort of confused how much of it is tongue-in-cheek and how much of it is serious. At first, I thought it was tongue-in-cheek. Now I think it's serious. So I don't. That's a great point, Mauser, because to know Spot, at first it was like, yeah, my swole pick. But now I think it's, yeah, my swole pick.
I don't know.
Have you seen my soul pics?
Yeah, they're great.
Isn't there?
That last one you picked, you looked like your bicep was pretty beefy. I'm not
It
gonna lie.
was
That's Spot.
because I
But it
just
didn't make
I
me
had just
insecure.
done I had just done chest and arms.
But what Mauser's saying,
Just done my upper body workout.
what Mauser's saying makes sense, though, for the people that know you personally. What percentage tongue-in-cheek and what percentage, like, actually feeling yourself?
It's so. I mean, it's like a lot of feeling myself, but it's also a lot of tongue in cheek. I don't know. It's like maybe 50-50, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's a good point, because to know you're sarcastic, but to also know you're pretty feeling yourself right now. So I think it is 50-50. Like, haha, how funny, my swole pick. At the same time, yeah, my swole.
On the positive, though, it is good to feel yourself. So, I guess there's no hate there.
Yeah, what's the opposite? Spot feels shitty about himself? I like that
Yeah.
he feels good about himself. So this is good. It's a great thing.
But answering Rich's
Is it?
question,
It,
I
it
did
seems
not
like
take
it
the other
bothers
school.
you.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. I jokingly said, Covino, how do we know you worked out if you didn't post a swole pic? And that we went there. That's where we got here.
I didn't post one, but my week out was very much a Pee Wee Herman workout. It was a week out, actually. You ever do a week out? That's what I did yesterday. Jordan had a workout. I had a week out. I did like 25 minutes on the treadmill into a slight jog, like a 4.5, 1.5 incline.
That's like a
Slight jog just to test my lung capacity.
People are speculating you only worked out because you saw handsome Colton and you're like, fuck, I got to step it up.
No, I've only seen him for like a few minutes.
That's
We've
enough.
been like two ships in the night.
That's enough.
Colton's like, yeah, just got back from CrossFit and handling a few of my law cases. What's going on, Covino? And you're like, I've been sitting here scratching my ass.
I had some,
he
I had
shook my
some
hand like a
pumpkin
cartoon and,
chorizo
like,
soup.
lifted me.
Have you tried that soup place? It's fantastic.
I got soup. I scratched my ass and I looked for Chuck Taylor's. What did you do? Oh, I did some CrossFit. I did a little charity 5K and I worked out a couple law cases.
No, he
What did he
ran.
do?
What were those things that were popular in the 2000s? Those runs. What are they called?
A fucking turkey trot?
Warrior
No, those
dashes.
5K?
Warrior dash.
Warrior Dash.
Yeah, I did a warrior dash.
I did a Tough Mudder in Boise. You know, just,
Oh, you know,
Nah,
it's-
he's not like that at all, man. But where they live, it's like a hotel, so they have a really nice gym here. So, how lazy would I be if I couldn't take an elevator down into a gym where there's nobody there anyway?
then I
Covino's
saw some
wiping,
old.
Covino's wiping the stink out of his the crust out of his stink eye, and he's like, "Fucking yo, Colton, how long you been awake?" He's like, "Hey, you know, I did a morning row at the river, you know."
Then I rock climbed up that mountain. It was a little snowy at the top, so I had to put on some snowshoes. Then I got down, and then some old lady's car broke down on the side of the road, and then I had to like push it a mile. I was okay by myself.
You know what's even funnier about that?
And she didn't
is
have a jack, so I just
Colton's-
lifted the car up.
Colton's brother also lives in this building, so they probably work out together and high
Shut
five
up.
every day.
There's another-
Yeah,
Hey, I'm good, eh? What about you, eh?
yeah. So they have built-in spotters. So
Beefy
yeah, I'm
bros.
sure they do take a lot of pride in their workouts. But
Beefy.
no,
bros.
man, I had a week out. I did some treadmill. I did some free weight bench press and just 3 sets light, just to again test myself, see where I'm at. I was just doing 45s, 55s, and that was it. And then I did some curls. Oh, and then I did this rope pull down on this machine because Jordan was saying it was
Curls
really
for the
hard.
girls.
And it was working my tries a little bit, so
That's
I did
good.
that.
You know what?
I've seen that machine.
I started to incorporate that rope pull down thing. I've never seen one. They had one at the 24-hour that I go to now. It's in the back, buried in the back, like no one's ever on it.
Yeah,
but
it's
like
good, though.
it looks like a seated. It's like a bench. It looks like a seated row machine, but it's not. There's a rope hanging, so you just sort of sit there, arch. I guess you're supposed to arch your back properly and just keep pulling the rope down.
I really don't know what it's for, but I know I felt a burning
What do
in
you-
my tries.
Back and tries, right?
Yeah. So,
What
I
do you
kept
do,
doing
Rich?
it. I kept doing it until I couldn't anymore. I did about 3 sets of,
Yeah, it's fine.
30.
It's like this, right? Like
yeah, it's like this. It's like this.
yeah.
Pulling the ropes. You're like, ah. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had a nice little workout, came back and just sort of chilled out and did really a whole lot of nothing yesterday. That was my day.
Spot, if you check our Covino and Rich text message, I sent a picture. Someone said there is one swole photo of Covino. Apparently, when you Google image Steve Covino, there's a Getty
Look
image
at this
of him.
photo.
There's a Getty image of Covino on a Soul Cycle with a sleeveless shirt.
Yeah, because I had to. You think I posted that? And it's a weak ass picture. That's nothing I would ever post.
Yeah.
That's a weak photo. That was from an event we did, but we had to do that.
I know. They were like, hey, Covino and Rich, throw on these Soul Cycle shirts.
Nah, you know what? I call bullshit. It looks like they photoshopped your head on that body.
My head looks big.
It doesn't
but,
it?
hey,
I think it's
yeah.
the angle, but it looks like
it's
they
my head.
photoshopped your-
I mean, my head looks big now too. Look at my puffy eyes, my puffy head. Man, I'm gonna hit up my doctor today and see if I can get some eye drops sent to me because it's really bothering me. But either way, hit the gym. I hope it's a sign of back to normal a little bit. Maybe I could take that back to LA with me, and I could post some photos with Spot, and I could be like, we could be like workout buddies.
You will bounce back real quick. I started going to the gym for the last couple weeks, and very quickly I feel like you get it back real quick. Like where you felt soft, like you start to feel firm again real quick. Muscle memory is a remarkable thing, Spot, and I think you discovered that for the first time after COVID because you said you felt soft, and then real quick you get it. If you have the base and you've done it before, it's so easy to get back opposed to when you first start.
Yeah. Still takes a lot of effort. It's a lot of work.
Oh, for sure. Though I'm
hate
not
it.
lifting what I was,
I hate it.
6 months ago. I'm still trying to get back. All right, so
I hate it.
I have a gym story, so that's perfect timing if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it.
that's fun, man. I was just leading to the gym and my takeaway from not being there in a long ass time. And I just started getting charged again from 24-hour fitness. So maybe I got to get my ass back.
So I go to the gym yesterday. I think part of going to the gym, honestly, is finding a consistent routine. And I know that might sound so obvious, but how many people are like, yeah, maybe I'll go before work. Yeah, maybe I'll go during my lunch hour. All right, I'll go after work. Let me stop home and then I'll go. You know what? Let me eat dinner and then I'll go tonight. If you keep delaying or not knowing what your time is, I feel like you're so less likely to keep your routine going. I feel like you need to know, like, all right, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday after work I go, or 3 or 4 days a week before work I wake up early and go. I think if you don't have a designated routine, you're so much more likely to fucking slack.
You know what happens too, though, Rich? And I don't want to take you off your train of thought, but a lot of times when you do show discipline with your routine, it justifies bad behaviors. So it's always a push. It's like you never really gain traction or gain momentum or show any gains, period.
I like that.
Really? Yeah, but then you're never really showing any progress. With that discipline should come discipline with your diet.
No, but
and that's where I always mess up.
I live by the words of Uncle Joe, your Uncle Joe. I will never not have pizza. You live
and
one
your
time.
life will be a constant push and never any chip gains.
Hey, you know what?
Am I allowed to make a comment, or
Yeah,
is it going to sound pretentious and
No.
I don't know. To be determined. Go ahead.
You can. There's a difference between never not having pizza and seeking out pizza every night. I feel like in the past week, every day you've had a different type of fast food.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's Christmas time. We're shopping. We're doing things. We just got, and you know what it is too. Here's another fun fact. We traveled for a couple weeks. When you get back to your house, especially when you have 2 little kids.
Yeah, but you eat out every day, whether it's fast food or restaurant food.
No, not true. Not
then
true.
What do you eat?
Not true at all.
I've never heard you come in and say, yeah, so we were cooking yesterday.
Well,
and you're the guy that cuts on me all the time.
I don't think that's interesting cover. Is it interesting to be like, yeah, Sarah put chicken breasts in and we had string beans.
Neither is hearing about your Taco Bell run, but we hear about that every day.
No, you don't hear about it. You bring it up because you like to mock my Taco Bell runs, and it's always a funny story.
I don't. I feel like you bring it up. Am I fucking dreaming?
When you say Taco Bell runs, do you mean going to Taco Bell, or do you mean the runs you get after eating Taco Bell?
I never get Taco Bell after runs. To me, Taco Bell sits with me perfectly. I'm like immune to it, Spot. Like
you got an iron stomach. You got a Taco Bell stomach.
Yeah, no, I have a Taco Bell stomach, bro.
All right, so go ahead.
Since last night, I just had honestly, it was a night where we were running behind schedule. So the kids had Dino nuggets, mashed potatoes, and green beans, and
fantastic.
I had chicken soup. I bought chicken soup from Ralph's last week.
Ooh, sorry.
For the record, yeah, if anyone's calling me a hypocrite, I don't cook either.
I mean,
I don't prepare meals, but Jordan does. She does at least 3 or 4 nights, during the work week.
I just have a bunch of shit in the fridge, always ready to go.
If it's nothing epic. Taco Bell calls.
This is Rich's grandfather clock.
It's like my bat signal.
No, it's the Vato signals to make the run for the border, bro.
But I just don't think it's like is it worth bringing up? Like, hey, I had grilled chicken last night. Like,
I mean, it's worth speculation because we're talking about the discipline push. You know what I mean?
I'll never not have good food. I won't deny myself of that because I've never gotten overweight. So it's like, why? What am I trying to have, a 6-pack at 40 years old? So as long as I feel good and look.
I thought you wanted to be like that guy on the internet with the gray Santa beard, but he's shredded.
My goal is to, every time I go away on vacation, I just want to look all right with my shirt off. And if I can feel like I look all right with my shirt off, then what else really matters? If your levels at the doctor are fine, I'm going
to need a nipple reduction if that is ever the case for me.
You realize that's a very huge motivational factor for me as well, right? Like, you love to mock that it's all about like muscles and shit. It really has become now about my health.
Oh yeah.
The muscles are an afterthought, obviously, or a nice bonus. But going to the gym and I
almost died. Your arteries were stuffed with gabagool.
Gabagool. Like, you don't see me doing a mile run after every workout or all that kind of stuff. It's like I'm trying to maintain that and keep things moving and keep things good. But on the
flip side, for the sake of conversation, because people are too scared to talk about this in real life, on the flip side, don't you think that for health reasons, Rich and I have tried to balance our lives out the best that we could? You know what I mean?
Of course.
We have. So, but no one cares about that stuff.
Yeah, you guys are I would argue you're more naturally fit. For me, it just takes constant effort, and I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah. By the way, someone said that we never heard about Rich. We never hear Rich talk about homemade dinners. I just feel like unless it's like someone made something.
I said that, and I bring it up because we do a show every day. So one would assume, whether it be me or people listening, that you're either eating fast food every night or you're having takeout, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we're talking about hitting the gym, right? If you're hitting the gym every day, but you're eating like shit every day, all you're doing is balancing that out, which is fine, but it's hard to get gains that way.
No, I mean, I'm like eating at home to me just doesn't require a conversation, but I will if you want. From now on, I'll give you
I would love it.
I'll give you like when I talk about what I watched last night, I'll be like, and by the way, what I ate was
I would love it.
a blank. Like,
I mean, it's
What did you have last night?
I mean,
dino nuggets and mashed potatoes.
I had Zupas. I told you.
grilling's an easy solution we've used since we've moved to this house because we have the barbecue right there, the grill right there. So many a nights like burgers, skirt steak, or chicken breast or something, just throw it on the grill. That's the easiest fix in this family. And I'll be honest, a lot of time
Crock pot.
Sarah Crockpot cooks a lot, and we shred that chicken.
Crock pots.
I don't have one of those bad boys.
You need one.
But honestly, Spot, you could put, I mean, I know you know this, but not everyone might know, but it's as simple as people have said. Like, literally put some spices, some shit in a crock pot, turn it on, and like 8 hours later, it's deliciousness. It's so little effort. And then Sarah puts that in the mixer spot, and she just shreds the chicken, and we use that for a few days. The same way you do.
And the reason I bring that up too, Rich, is like last
fresh.
night. You know, I hit the treadmill for like a half hour. I did my week out, but then I got back to the apartment, and I'm like, yeah, I can have a brownie now. I've earned it. Like, it's counterproductive at that point. So if I do want to continue down the spotty path of fitness and health, I'm not going to deprive myself of treats, but I think I'm going to have to like lay off that push life because it doesn't justify I could eat like shit. You know, maybe you try to eat healthy. I think that's what Spot's doing.
Yeah. And by the way, just a lot of times Sarah and I cut and paste dinner because the kid with two little kids, we're lucky that they like their vegetables. But
Yeah.
I feel like mac and cheese or chicken nuggets or hot dogs or people love to say like when I have kids they're going to eat super healthy. That's fucking impossible. It's impossible. 95 out of 100 kids end up eating chicken nuggets, hot dogs, mac and cheese. It's what you do. It's what you did as a kid. It's what your kids do. No kids having fresh salmon with it's not what kids do. Like
I'll tell you what, it's annoying as hell too. My kid, that's what she does eat like when she's not with me. So when she's with me, I'm sort of treating her in a different way. Like, yeah, we're having, mac and cheese or something like that, and it's always a conflict because my food's not as good. And that's just a whole other conversation of what you have to deal with as a co-parent. You're never going to provide the same sort of expectations in household as the other person. The eating habits are different. I find that to be kind of lame for a kid, to be honest.
No doubt. And I had
There's a balance.
And you end up having your fair share of like takeout, especially like I said, when it's certain times of the year, because it just makes more sense. Like we've been doing a lot of Christmassy stuff. So if you're doing Christmas shit with the kids, do you really want to have to worry about cooking, or are those the perfect weeks to be like, hey, let's get some takeout? Like I had Panda Express the other night, and that shit was so good. And I had not had Panda Express in like 6 months. Orange chicken with some lo mein and brown rice.
Oh, they serve food there? I thought it was a clothes store for pandas. I only get to throw that out there a few times a year.
That's not where pandas get every different type of shirt and color tie.
I thought where pandas buy. I thought
pandas buy
their
jeans?
stretchy jeans and suit jackets.
Good one, bro.
I like it.
I like it.
I mean, I only get to throw that one out there.
Man.
He brings it up.
Oh, man. I love it.
Good one.
I'm going to have to
Every
go to
time,
Panda
bro.
Express more often.
Got to bring the hits, bro. Got to bring the hits.
Panda Express, so good though. Oh,
I should have. I got to be honest. I really wanted to drop that joke today because when I was at Jordan's mom's house yesterday, she brought home Panda. She had the sweet chili sauce from Panda Express, and she was dumping it on her food. And I was about to say that joke, but I didn't want to appear like I didn't want her to not get it, and then I feel like a jerk off having to explain it. So thanks for the opportunity for me to drop that joke again today.
All good, bro. All
Yeah,
good.
thanks.
Yeah, I'm so happy for that.
And by the way, while she was eating Panda Express, I fucking wanted to dive into that shit so bad, but I didn't.
It's so good. To have it, treat yourself. All right. Anyway, let me tell you my gym story. And then it has nothing to do with working out or gain. So if you're over that conversation, don't sweat it. This is about butt cheeks.
Nice.
So recently we played
Go
that video
down.
where that like eye-rolling TikTok girl was saying how some guy was checking her out or creeping at the gym. And we were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
nah, he really wasn't. And that became like a viral story.
Yeah. And by the way, like, she put his character in jeopardy. You know, that was a weak video.
Yeah, agreed. So yesterday I'm at the gym. Getting gains, bro. Sorry I didn't post a swole pic.
Gains.
And there was a girl at the gym that walked in the same time I did, and then she went right up to the treadmills. And, there was no way on earth that any human being, specifically a grown man, couldn't take a glimpse at what the fuck was going on. We're talking about a girl, like, I'm going to be descriptive, and I'll be honest.
Okay.
Please do.
Her face was all right. She was pretty, but not like by no means beautiful. Like average girl, average looking face, right? I'm just saying this for the reason of the story,
That's
for the
okay.
purpose of the story, just to be descriptive.
It's okay to be descriptive. Don't let 2021 get you down.
Nah,
Stories
you
need-
got to walk a tightrope just
Nah.
to describe somebody nowadays.
Stories need descriptions.
Average looking.
What was her skin color? I'll ask.
Oh, I would say vaguely Hispanic.
Oh.
Okay. So that means she's Filipino.
Possibly like that in that realm. Like,
She's like Mexican, but you can't tell. So she's
like-
like,
is
yeah.
she Mexican? Is she Puerto Rican? Is she Asian? Is she Dominican? Is she like not?
she could be Guatemalan. Who knows?
Or is she just maybe an Italian mix with something else where, she had like Nicole from the Morning Mashup type skin. But then again, look at Nicole. She's vaguely, you don't know what she is.
Yeah.
This girl had an average face. You would never look twice. You wouldn't be like, yo, bro, look at her. How beautiful she is.
Like when you say average, you mean she's batting like 260 or she's batting like 307?
Well, 260 in Major League Baseball today is like good.
Oh, so she's batting like 220 or on the interstate.
She's like 225.
Okay.
But she hit like fucking 90 home runs because like, boo, again, now I'm just being descriptive. Average face. She had a like a sports bra, workout bra on. Nice boobs, but nothing circus like, nothing like, she got big ass titties, nothing like that. Not flat chested, like, like the way you would say that's a good looking girl, but you wouldn't gawk or be fucking creepo or anything. You'd be like, this is pretty girl, nice physique. Dude, she was wearing not yoga pants, yoga shorts, but with the seam up the fucking crack. And she had thin, in-shape thighs, not a glimpse of like cellulite or anything, but her ass looked like it. There's no way this shit was real. It was like the most bubblicious, like, and then it just went into like not skinny legs, like I can't describe. It might have been.
That's indicative that it's a fake ass, by the way. I hope you know that.
Is it
In
though?
my life,
Because
I'd
you're amazed at what some squats can do, and that's
Yo,
all
that's
these women do. Squats.
Fugazi, bro. Fugazi.
All they do.
am amazed.
Mausing.
Probably in my life, Covino. In my life.
In my life.
This was a top 5 ass to thigh ratio that I couldn't believe was real. I was like, and then I look around and I see every guy doing the same thing where they're trying to be like polite and respectful, but every guy is just like, I can't look. Like it was so fucking visibly distracted. It's like, she's on a treadmill walking uphill at a slow pace, so it's just like boom, 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 like the cheeks like boom, boom. And I'm thinking to myself, based on that video we dissected last week, when a girl with an ass like that wears yoga shorts
like that.
Now, you could say, not for guys to gawk. Then please just tell me what the reason is for her to wear those little yoga shorts with the crease up the ass and
Maybe it's
a
for,
wiggle and a jiggle. But you could say
Maybe
She doesn't need to show moose knuckle for her workout, and that's what women are doing.
maybe it's for
You
the
see
same
it online
reason.
too. You see it on TikTok. You know, we talked about this. It's the age of vagina lines. Girls are showing straight up moose knuckle, and it's not going to stop till they're showing straight up balloon knot.
But
They're showing a lot. Tell us why.
I started
Oh,
wearing
but-
I started wearing tank tops, right? Not to show off my muscles, really for mobility. Like I started in yoga, especially because when you lift your arms up, then your entire shirt comes up, your fucking bottom guts just flapping out because your shirt's bunched up. It's like wearing a tank top gives you mobility. So maybe her wearing very skimpy clothing gives her mobility in her workout.
Full guy out of here. Get out of here.
Bro, I want to be respectful, almost to the level of Bobby Bottle Service, because I love my mother.
No doubt.
Yo,
No
tell
doubt.
me that there's a reason for this girl to wear yoga shorts with a crease up the ass when she has probably a top 5 ass I've ever seen in my life, because she wants everyone to be like, look at that. And I'm not saying that's wrong, and I'm not saying
Love cheeks.
she deserves to be harassed, but it's you wear those because you want people to check it out. No,
You also maybe
don't tell
she,
me it's mobility spot.
maybe she
I mean,
wants to
Jesus
cover.
Christ.
Maybe she wants to cover as little as possible. Maybe she gets overheated. Like in yoga, I see a lot of people wearing less and less clothing because it gets hot in there.
Fuck out, Spot. You're justifying. There's no need to show your camel toe.
Let me get
Now,
a vote.
hold on.
Reason. Let me.
I got to ask you
Sarah!
this. I just had a thought. You know how parties and people, and especially Vegas scenes, hire atmosphere models just to give the illusion that there's lots of hot chicks here, so guys want to be there. Do you think gyms ever hire atmosphere models just to rock their ass so it motivates guys to come?
Not 24-hour fitness. Let me tell you that.
Not 24-hour fitness, but Covino, some of those places, like when we were on ESPN, there was a gym that wanted to do like some bit with us, and it was called like the Dog Pound, and they have like top tier Instagram models work out there for free, probably to create that buzz. So yes,
And
I think
why didn't you do this?
higher end
We
gym,
did for like one day.
higher end gyms absolutely will give free memberships, I'd imagine, to like the Instagram girls. Why would they not?
But not 24-hour fitness.
24-hour fitness.
Would it be wrong to wear sunglasses? That way they can't tell if you're staring?
Yeah, but I got pink COVID eye. Oh.
There's a guy here that wears sunglasses. It's a little strange. Oh, don't worry. It's for my cataract. Don't worry.
Hold on, I
Medical reason.
gotta ask Sarah's opinion on this. If she's not on a call, give me 2 seconds.
By the way,
because
yeah, go
Sarah's the type that
Bro.
I mean, she still works out, but when I first met her, she was the girl at the gym every day, all day, like people staring at her, I'm sure. So I gotta get an opinion on this.
Sarah has cheeks.
You can't tell me it's comfort. I love Spot's take because it's an angle, right?
Like for me, it's
we try to
comfort.
speculate all angles. There is no. You just watch any TikTok video. Girls are showing their crevices that don't need to be shown for their workout.
Like the
bro.
reason I'm wearing a tank top to show off my arms is really I really do mean that. This isn't just me trying to justify. I wear a tank top for mobility. It's easier to move my arms. It's easier to lift them
Because
up.
the t-shirt's so restricted.
It is.
me a break.
It like bunches up your shirt and then you feel uncomfortable. I like the
or
mobility.
How about this?
See this?
You
Arms
like to
moving.
see the gains as
No.
they happen. I don't mind that.
No, because there are dudes that wear like sweatshirts the entire time they're at the gym. For me, it's about comfort and having the ability to move around much easier with my arms out. I swear, I'd go shirtless if I could.
So, let me ask Sarah.
Like a titties.
24-hour fitness.
Hi, Sarah.
There's a girl, average face, nothing crazy, nothing wild with her boobs or anything. She had yoga shorts on with the seam crease, like the scrunch butt seamed shorts, monstrous fake looking ass with like skinny thighs. Why would she wear that? And don't say for her.
By the way, Rich, it's called the John crease because you want to strike hard, bro.
Strike hard. Strike first.
Is it okay to say like she's wearing it because she wants people to look?
She's wearing it because she wants people to look because she is feeling herself. I don't see what's wrong with that.
So, but there's the admittance of she's wearing it on purpose.
But she's wearing it for herself, but because she feels good, and she just straight up is like, I
Yeah, but because she wants people to check her out.
yeah, because not in the sense of like I want people. I just.
Yeah, you can't explain it because women can't explain this.
No,
because they're wearing it because they want people to look, but then when guys look, they're like, "It's not for you," but it is.
It is never for you. It is.
Oh no, I know what she's saying.
Ever for you.
It's not for you. It's for her because she feels good,
Yeah.
but is mad when other people look.
I don't get it.
But guys can't help themselves but looking.
I think whenever you guys are worried about like the whole like looking thing, I think, or like whenever people are like, "Oh, she's mad because I looked." She's not mad that you looked. I think it's the amount of disrespect, of the disrespectful way you look. And like just because she's wearing something doesn't give you the right to leer at her or like make suggestive things. And
What a girl wears does not give the right to a guy to act creepy, touch a woman, act disrespectful. Agreed. But don't tell me a girl doesn't wear booty shorts with a crease in it to the gym.
Okay, hold on, Rich. I'll give you another. I'm going to give you
everyone to stare at that butt.
It's fine that she has confidence. I'm really confused of like why you're like aggressive with this.
I'm not.
Rich hates other people's confidence. We figured that out today.
Good for her. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
Rich wants
But
to be the
she
most
has
confident
to,
guy in the room.
here's where the problem lies. The problem
Thanks,
lies
Sarah.
in her lack of understanding that people are going to look. If there's a guy in New York City walking around with a parrot on his head, right? Because there's always a weirdo in the city, in any city.
When we were fixing Spot's tire the other day, or trying to, I'm not his tire, when his car broke down. Remember, like, Covino, when we were on Instagram Live, there was a guy that walked by that looked like a fucking magician.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Where was
He had
I?
a top
Oh, wait.
hat on and everything.
Worrying about
He
my
had a
car.
top hat, a twirly mustache, and a coat.
Okay. So if that
That's
guy,
odd.
right, a guy walking around in your local city with a monkey or a parrot on his head, he's not doing it for you. He's not, right?
Wait.
He's doing it because he loves his parrot. He's a fucking weirdo.
A good
and
follow.
He's doing it because that's what makes him happy.
A good Instagram
Yeah.
follow is Subway Creatures. Subway Creatures is
Really?
it's like all these weirdos you speak of from New York that are like riding the subway. It's a great fucking follow.
My point is, and I'm using a stretch here, but he's doing it for
Like she
him.
was?
He's not doing it for you. Yet you can't help but look at that guy. The problem is that person, in this case, the woman, has a lack of understanding that when you walk around with a parrot on your head, which in this case is her ass, you're gonna look. It's hard not to. That doesn't mean you should be a creep and a pervert about it, but that sort of problem lies. Like, yeah, what do you expect us to do? There's a parrot on your head.
Yeah, I think that's it. As long as my take has always been, if you're not harassing the woman, if you don't put your hands on her, if you don't say something disrespectful, if you're not a fucking piece of shit, and you just glance over and you're looking, I don't care what someone says. You're right. Same like the guy with the parrot on his head, or the person with a top hat and a magician's coat.
The dude with the giant Komodo dragon hanging on his shoulder.
Does that person do it for them? Yeah, maybe. But do you think no one's gonna look if you walk down the street with a fucking monkey on your head?
Yeah,
If
that's
you show
really
up
it.
to the gym,
But
if you show up
please
to the
no, Rich. Any girl with an ass like that, it's fake, especially in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's some sort of Brazilian butt lift, some sort of implant, some sort of shot she got in her ass, because no girl under the moon gains weight in just her cheeks. It would be in her thighs, and you specifically said her thighs were thin and muscular, but her ass was fat as hell.
Oh my God, I thought about that because I know.
I'm always staring at asses. Always.
You
It's
know
natural.
for a fact that
It's
like
natural.
a girl,
Like breathing spot.
Like Rich,
A lot
I
of
went
times-
I went to the gym when I took my Swole Pick the other day. After I dropped some stuff off at the house, I'm like, let me stop at the gym and go for a run. Then I did a little workout. But it was like cheek hour at the gym. I saw more cheeks in that hour at 24-hour fitness, 10 p.m. at night. And fucking Topanga. 10 p.m. at night. There were like more cheeks. They were on the treadmills. They were on the Stairmasters. They were working out. They were doing squats. I'm like, where did all these cheeks come from? Are the girls going late at night to avoid the dudes that are there during the gym or during the day at the gym? Maybe.
I don't know.
But I'm like, oh.
It's not a creep conversation. It's a conversation of
But as long as you don't like make it creepy.
If you got a parrot on your head and someone looks at you, you can't be like, what are you looking at?
Can't be
Why are you
mad at
looking
them.
me? You got a fucking parrot on your head. You shouldn't say to that person, "Hey, what's with the parrot? Nice parrot."
Yeah. I think
Sometimes you ask to take a picture with that guy. Don't do that with the woman at the
no,
gym.
don't do that with the cheeks.
Yeah, but the same thing applies. I love that you brought up the guy that walk around with a monkey or a parrot on his head, because you should never tell that. You should never say to that person, "Hey, what's with the monkey?" You don't want to annoy that person or be disrespectful.
I think if you're able to like enjoy it in a appreciative way and not be creepy about it, and if it does, like, as long as you're not like this.
Yeah, if every time you pass that person at the gym, you do a quick little like,
right, that's
little
okay.
thing.
Don't like don't intentionally be like pick a machine that she's next to and just go sit next to her every time and just be like, oh my god, I gotta see this ass. Oh my god, I gotta see this ass.
No, it's just a bunch of guys lined up with their tongues out like that. You know that clip of all those guys going like this?
Yeah, it's like you can appreciate
bunch of
it.
guys.
And also, don't be the guy that goes up to her, or like, it's like, let her do her thing.
Exactly. My point is,
Don't shoot your
harass
shot.
these women. And I want to make it very clear. I'm not by no means am I saying like, hey, like, women wear these things for you to harass them, or hey, like, if she didn't want to be harassed, she wouldn't wear that. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is, when you wear something like that, I just want to get into the mindset of like, you go to the gym with a big fake ass and you wear nothing to cover it. Like, you sort of deep down inside, you're confident about it and you want everyone to look at it. You just don't want anyone to bother you. Is that probably fair?
Yeah, of course. I don't want people bothering me. Stay away from my biceps.
But hold on. All right. Forget.
And you know what I say? You know what I say to that too? If you're too busy staring at this girl's ass, you ain't working out hard enough. Work out hard.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm never working out hard enough to miss a butt.
Now,
work out harder.
If you watch TikTok, you see girls are rocking these things, and they really are showing their camel toe.
It's gross.
They're showing the vagine because they're so tight and they're creased right through the crevices.
Yeah.
You think they're just wearing that because they're feeling themselves, or because they want people to notice and they want those likes and they want those followers? That shit's intentional, bro. And that's the type of shit. That's the type of shit these girls are wearing.
Social media, it's intentional. I mean, when a girl's wearing no bra on TikTok and she's bouncing around and you just missed the titty falling out the bottom, that's intentional.
Okay.
Oh, wow, it's got 5 million likes? Ooh, wow, surprise.
I heard titties.
By the way, I saw our pal Charlie Caruso from ESPN and WWE and all that. It's not on her Instagram story anymore. And it would have gone perfect with this conversation. She posted yesterday, she was doing an ash treatment. Did you see that or no? Did you happen to go past her IG story yesterday?
Did you say a treatment or a treatment?
It was I'm sorry, Spot. It was a treatment.
An ass treatment?
And I know, without even explaining, women post things like this, but they're like promoting their doctor. But really, at the same time, they're promoting their ass. But they don't want you to think they're promoting their ass.
Yeah. Thanks, Sophia.
Now,
Sophia Beverly
Charlie
does that.
Arnold, who we love, she's way into fitness and everything.
She's great. She was one of the coolest girls we worked with, for sure.
I love Charlie. She's super.
Yeah.
Charlie posted this thing, and I'm like, ooh, that's really interesting. They had these machines hooked up to each cheek, and it was like, and it was like a doctor's office, and it said the vibrations and stimulations that these things are giving my cheeks are equal to 5,000 squats. And she's like, ladies, check out this thing. And apparently it's the equivalent of like your old ab belt.
When Covino wore his flex belt around the casino in Vegas, remember that?
This was like,
Rich, did you DM her and tell her that she didn't need a machine for that you could volunteer? It'll be man versus machine. Like
I'll get her up to 10,000 squats.
I think Spock could do just as good of a job.
I was
nose included.
But I was thinking to myself, like, hey, listen.
Honestly, look, I'm moving so fast you can't even see it.
That's
how fast it'll be.
When the emphasis nowadays is so much on butt, right? You don't think that type of treatment will get a lot of traction? Like, if there's a treatment where it's like, hey, a girl could get some ass vibration thing that is equivalent to doing thousands of squats, and it's almost like a gym supplement or shortcut. You don't think girls are going to be getting their ass jiggled?
There's no shortcuts, bro. It's the equivalent of like fat people in the 50s with their fucking thing around their waist.
No, not true, bro. No,
I don't buy into that.
No, not at all,
It's
bro.
stimulation, but you still got to put in the work. She puts in a lot of work.
I had an ex-girlfriend that did that cellulite thigh roller treatment at like a place, and it fucking worked. Like a lot of times those things do work. Like I've seen it firsthand work.
I mean, those ab belts work too. They stimulate your abs, but you got to put work in to see real results.
But I'm saying like there's treatments for a reason. People pay for these things because there are results, and they're little supplements, little shortcuts, and nothing.
How many people are mad right now that they didn't see this clip of Charlie yesterday?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah, it won't be creepy if I say, "Hey, can you repost the ass one?" Hey, haven't talked to you in a few months. What's up? It's Rich. Covino says hi. By the way, your ass video.
We were talking about it. Do they have sessions for men to just watch?
Do it on my balls.
Hey, can we buy a ticket next time?
Oh, it's not a public event. I'm sorry. All right, I go. Carry. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, man. Girls should sell tickets for this. A one-woman show.
So there you have it. Girl at the gym, not being creepo, just saying.
I don't know, man.
When a girl has a big fake ass and she isn't even covering it a little bit, I'm talking like out and about, not ever an excuse for you to be a piece of shit, but to expect no one to look. You're right. It's like a guy walking down the street with a fucking monkey or parrot on his head. Don't be disrespectful, but to not look is virtually impossible.
I have like a Rich Davis palate cleanse, Rich, and we'll still go through feedback. 412-267-7469. We still read and see all the text messages. Thank you guys. The Carl page on Facebook is always a fun read. Ian Kennedy and the Carls, thank you guys for all your contributions. Donnie Pompidou, everyone on Discord, everyone on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. Chime in. It's always fun to go back and forth. The most inclusive podcast, live podcast of all podcasts. I think we need a palate cleanse in between, because my next sort of discussion is, again, a very superficial one. And I want to just break it up with a funny clip. Oh. I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if it's new, so forgive me, but it was new to me. It's like, as Rich would present, here's a new trend you should try out with your girlfriend, which is like a terrible move. I don't think you should do this at all. You know how Rich is infamous for doing that? Here's a funny trend. Here's a funny trend. I think you guys should try it. You're like,
do it.
Who the fuck would do that? It's disrespectful and horrible. Why would I ever want to do that? Yeah, take this fish, slap your girlfriend in the face with it. It's like, why would I do that? I saw this and I felt Rich Davis vibes, but I also thought it was pretty funny, kind of funny, but not something that I think you should do.
Okay, let's see this. Let's see your fucking clip.
Spot. It's it involves your girlfriend or significant other, and then a very superficial conversation.
Okay, let's see this
again.
This is Ruben. This is not my house.
What? Oh shoot! Wrong house. Wrong house.
Oh hell no!
No.
Stop the car! Report.
You drop your girlfriend off at the wrong house.
Why are you dropping me off here?
Oh.
Who lives there?
No one. No.
Why are you dropping?
That was my bad.
Who lives there?
Dude, close the door. Close the door.
Pull over.
What?
Who
Some
lives
of these
there?
I think are real.
No one.
I'm gonna go
Oh yeah, they are. I'm sure.
Watch a few coming up.
Have fun, okay? Call me when you get there, okay? Give me a kiss.
No. Why are you dropping me off here?
Oh.
House is this? Lives there?
Nobody.
Nobody. So why you drop me off here? That's not where I stay. That's not my house. That's not your house.
Okay, it was a mistake, okay?
It's not a mistake. You're gonna explain to me who lives here.
Nobody.
Are you kidding me?
The joke
Then why
is
didn't you just come
you
here
drop
when
your
you-
wife or girlfriend off at the wrong house.
Well, it wouldn't work with your wife.
It implies your girlfriend. It implies that you
why
have
wouldn't it work with
other
your wife?
side pieces.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, it's not
Robbing
great,
my
but it was
Latina
kinda funny.
girlfriend
I wanna see
at
this
the
one.
wrong house.
Whose house was that?
I don't know.
Whose house
Hey,
was
I don't know.
that?
Hey, I don't know,
Whose
babe.
house was that? Why? No, go back.
Stop.
Go back.
We gonna crash. Stop.
Go back.
Why
Go
would I
back.
go back?
I'm gonna go knock
Babe,
on
no,
the door.
babe,
You're
babe,
so
babe,
smart.
I don't
Whose
know,
house
babe.
was
Yeah, you don't
I
mess with the
know, I
Latina
know.
fire.
Babe, that's my
¿Qué te
cousin house.
pasa?
That's my
¿Qué te
cousin
pasa?
house.
Eres bruto.
No, it's my
She
cousin
saw
house,
the
babe.
camera.
It's
Sorry,
cousin.
babe. Dropping my girlfriend off at
I love
It's-
this.
I don't know why people do those things, but I saw that and I thought of Rich. Rich
Oh,
loves trends like that.
When
and
I
I thought it was kind of funny.
I can do that when I get my second apartment.
The other one in that same vein, which I thought was funny, was I mean, it's older now. It's probably like last year, but when you tell your significant other, like, hey, let's take a selfie. And while you're taking a selfie, the app says, like, hey, hey, what's up, boo?
Oh,
like
yeah. Like a message comes up.
It's like, let's say a girl's like, honey, let's take a text message. And all of a sudden, a fake message pops up from like Chad. And it's like, hey, is your man gone?
Let me ask you a question, though, just based on that, and then we'll get into our superficial discussion.
Hold on. There's one more good one that I found there to be funny videos of. Again, TikTok, ruining our brains on the daily.
Oh, of course.
There's one where you're supposed to text your girlfriend or wife the minute she leaves the house and text your wife or girlfriend the following. Yo, she's gone. You could come over now. And your girlfriend will think, your wife or girlfriend will think you texted the wrong person, and you see all these women come back like, who's coming here? Who'd you think you were sending that to? And the guy's like, yo, I'm just playing.
Yo, that's a risky move when shit like that kind of happens in real life. So like to welcome that into your life as a prank is odd to me. How do you feel, Rich, when you jumble or jarble your memories when telling a story to your girlfriend or wife or something? Like, yeah, remember the time we went on this and we saw that movie and it wasn't them? Like, do you think they should get mad at those moments when shit like that happens? Or do you think that's just understandable? Because for me, I think it's understandable. Like sometimes you do just get confused about things like that.
If you get married, if you and Jordan end up getting married, when you're on the altar, just don't say, I, Covino, take you, Layla.
Oh, fuck out of here.
Like, no, that's Spot, remember in Friends?
Like in Friends?
I, Ross, take you, Rachel.
I don't think he'll ever do that. I don't think he'll do that.
Is that what that's from? I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of, Layla was in that scene.
I know. Spot, who is he supposed to marry again? I forget the name.
Emily.
Oh, yeah. I, Ross, take you, Emily. I, Ross, take you, Rachel.
Layla was an extra in that wedding scene just by coincidence, but I wouldn't, trust me, I wouldn't, no hard feelings, but I would never make that mistake for sure.
You know what?
But mistakes like that do happen naturally. You know, they do.
You know, it's, I think, here's the thing. If it's way before them, I think there should never be any harm in a mistake. Like, you'd be like, yeah, remember we went to that steakhouse in Vegas? And if Jordan's like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about, I don't think that's a harmful mistake. Like,
what about on the receiving end of it, though? How does it make you feel?
Like, yo, I don't know. I'd be like, yo, babe, that wasn't me. What the fuck? Like, I don't care. I really don't care.
Really? Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, I feel like I should care on principle because I know if the shoe was flipped, as I say,
yeah,
you'd probably get some heat for that, or at least a mean mug, a little bit of a dirty look.
Now, if it's a movie that's not so far in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, remember it was Spider-Man?
And I've seen it. I always feel weird about that because not that I'm up to fucking anything bad, but Sarah would be like, who'd you watch that with? Like, and like usually it's a dumb explanation. Like I got one last night. And trust me, I did not watch this last night, but there's a movie on Netflix. It's a really cheesy one. It's called California Christmas.
Sounds great.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a movie about, I'll just give you the quick premise. Get this, guys, this is crazy. Some big city guy.
No, stop it. Let me guess. He goes to a small town in California.
Goes to a small town in California.
No, that doesn't exist.
He's trying to buy land for this big corporation's vineyard idea.
Oh, so it's in Napa. This is Napa?
So some little family, like, we're not selling. So the guy goes there undercover as like a farmhand.
Oh, yeah.
But then they fall in love. Like, it's the cheesiest movie.
So it's like Undercover Boss?
Yo, bro, there's a sequel to it, like California Christmas, like I don't know, fucking The Rebirth. And I was like, yo, there's a cheesy sequel to this movie? Yo, the first was so stupid. And so I was like, I never saw the first. I'm like, yeah, we fucking definitely watch it first. And then I realized I watched it with my father-in-law, Mike.
Ah, yeah.
But like, that is one where it's like, remember we watched that movie or remember we went to that restaurant. Yeah, you got to be careful.
No, for sure. So anyway, that was some random TikTok trend where in today's world, most of that shit is fake. We could all see that as fake. I saw the 1 Minute Man, talking about some woman with a cat that people think is real, but it's clearly fake. I actually did think some of those were real. Guys driving girls to the wrong house to insinuate that they have other girls that they confused her with.
Possibly one of my favorite videos of 2021 from social media, I think is definitely real. And I think that's what makes a video good. Because if you genuinely feel like, yo, that's real, there's so many fake things where I'm like, oh, there's a confrontation in a parking lot. Fake.
But why do people like things that are so clearly fake?
I don't know. You're right. Because it'll be like fake parking lot altercation. It's like, yo, there's nothing real about this, yet it has like 8 million views.
It's so corny to me.
I don't get it.
I hate that about the world. I know Spot has pointed that out a million times. Hate it. And the 1 Minute Man definitely touched on it with a video that I hadn't seen. It was a woman with a cat on an airline that the world's going crazy about.
Oh my God, I saw that one too. How does anyone think that's real?
But people are thinking it's real when it's so clearly fake. I don't even know the video, but I know the feeling of, yeah, I don't get that. How does this go viral? And how would anyone, are people that dumb? And the answer is, yeah, they are.
My favorite video of 2021 that's definitely real. Do you see the one where the person's standing behind a hallway corner and they have a baby attached to balloons and they think the baby's actually flying away with the balloons?
Yeah.
Dude, that shit made me laugh. And you see like the concerned grandma like, oh no.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Hey, stupid TikTok trends, just keeping you posted. Follow us on TikTok. Everything's at Covino and Rich. At Covino and Rich. Now, Rich, like I said, I just wanted to do a little palate cleanse, advance a Pilates style, because this whole show, I mean, we didn't plan it this way.
Yeah.
But turned into like your muscles and this girl's ass and all these superficial things, when I had another sort of superficial discussion to really get to. Just sort of happens that way. So it's a superficial Ass Wednesday.
Ass Wednesday.
Now, Colin Cowherd, our colleague and old pal, right, said something. A lot of the times he speaks with a lot of conviction where you could be like, oh, yeah, where you could sort of buy into his bullshit. But a lot of times I try to like disagree with him just because I try to find other angles of, yeah, I don't know if I buy into that.
Can I tell you something? If you're about to bring up what I think you're about to bring up, I reached out to him for the first time in months just to be like, yo, fucking great take. Happy holidays. Hope you're well.
Yeah, like, I bet we're on the same page because
he's like, yeah, hope you're well too. We'll chat soon. Yo, it was probably a take that I loved. Go ahead, continue. I feel like it's the same exact take.
We used to communicate a lot with Colin. Coincidentally, since working at Fox along with him, we really haven't communicated. But he gave us, the thumbs up and the endorsement, and
yeah, we were.
He does a great job.
We were possibly working on something with him that never really came to fruition, but he was, he's a good dude, great broadcaster. But Colin,
dude,
I mean,
he's one of the best.
We had some good fun conversations with Cowherd over the last couple of years.
Right, and again, a lot of times I think he's like full of crap, but okay, interesting take. And as a broadcaster, I think he's fantastic. He said something that I would imagine could be really controversial for a lot of people, but I was like, you know what? I fucking agree with him 1,000%. And it would be an unpopular take because it comes across really superficial and people don't like to face the truths in this world.
I don't think so. I think what you're about to play in here, I don't think there is anyone that could really disagree with it. I think you're thinking too much through a 2021 scope because what he says is so true. And I think it's a great observation that he indicates that he made 25 years ago and no one else fucking brings this up. But I think he's 100% right.
I didn't even plan on playing it, Spot, or else I would have sent it to you. I was just going to tell you what he said. If you want to play it, that's fine. That's great. That's dandy.
Why not? What the hell?
But he talks about one of Rich's boys, who Rich always talks about. Rich loves his smile, Jimmy Garoppolo, and how Jimmy G isn't the most talented guy on the field, but he's confident. And a quarterback needs to be confident. He doesn't have a great arm. He doesn't have explosive speed. He isn't the same makeup as a lot of the quarterbacks today, but he's confident. And you have to play with confidence. He's willing to take risks. And we see the mistakes he makes because of his confidence. And you need to have those confident moments if you want to be successful. He's good enough. And he goes on to explain the reason he's finding success is because he has what he describes as quarterback face. Quarterback face.
It is such a perfect theory because when you hear what Colin says and where the quarterback face theory derives from, the schoolyard, when you're a kid, Spot, just play it. It's his second video on Cowherd's Instagram. Jimmy G has quarterback face. And,
he has quarterback face.
And it's so fucking accurate.
It really is.
Jimmy Garoppolo, what he lacks in arm strength or speed or anything else, he makes up for in confidence and decision making based on quarterback face. Take a look. Look at that face.
That's years ago was the first time I mentioned it. I wrote about this in my first book a long time ago, but I had talked about it in the air multiple times at ESPN, is that the quarterback is often the best looking guy on the team, like a high percentage of the time. And why would that be? And I had theorized years ago, and I got a lot of pushback on it. And then scouts now call it quarterback face. So I think I was the first person. This was like almost 20 years ago on syndicate. I talked about it in Portland 25 years ago when I was local. Is that quarterbacks are often good looking. Why? Who gets the ball in the playground at 8? The boy the girls think is cute and has confidence, and the boys kind of back off. It's called quarterback face. That doesn't mean your quarterback's always the best looking guy, but on average, there have been a lot of Brady's and Joe Montanas. I mean, it just has. I said this 18 years.
Now
and he goes on and on to explain that theory.
One more, then play the next slide too, just to wrap it up.
He's been the best looking guy in every room since he was probably about 9. And he plays like it. Anytime Jimmy G makes a mistake, it's because he doesn't have a great arm. He doesn't drive the ball. He doesn't run around like Russell Wilson or Josh Allen. He's got some athletic limitations. But it's interesting. He is the highest rated quarterback in this league, Pro Football Focus, in the second half of the season. And that's why I like Jimmy G. I always feel Kirk Cousins shrinks. He's got more talent than he knows. He shrinks. Jimmy's the opposite. When he makes a mistake, it's a confidence mistake. But he acts like a confident guy. And I'll give you an example. He leads the NFL in yards per attempt. Why? I don't care if he throws a pick. He's confident. He has no problem with Trey Lance being in the building with him. He's not bothered by it at all. He's always like, he's a great kid. Why? He's not threatened. He's confident. Yeah, he's been the best looking guy in every room since he was. He
goes on and on, and it's fantastic. And it's so fantastic because it is 100% accurate. You know, he says he got a lot of pushback about that years ago. So I don't know how people perceive that now or receive that now. I'll tell you what, when I hear him say that, I'm like, he's 100% correct. And it's not always going to be the case, but yeah, think about it. It comes.
How often, unless you have the just natural talent and ability of an Andrew Luck or some other Neanderthal-looking fucking athlete.
Roethlisberger, because he's.
And by the way, Roethlisberger, creepy past, but not an ugly guy.
No, but he wouldn't fall into the.
I think he's
Tom Brady's, Doug Flutie's, Joe Montana's of the world.
I think it's a bad example because young Ben wasn't bad. Young Ben Roethlisberger wasn't bad looking.
Have you seen Ben Roethlisberger as a woman? We'll play that for you next.
Well, I think there's very few quarterbacks in the NFL that are ugly motherfuckers, and it's because they've had to rely solely on their talent. When you're a kid, think of your high school. You know who the quarterback of my high school was? My high school football team stunk. But you know who the quarterback was? Popular kid that was good looking.
Johnny Football Hero.
They don't call him Johnny Football Hero because he's fucking ugly.
He's the quarterback. He's popular. So when you see Johnny Football Hero in the hallway, be sure to tell him he had a great game. You saw his name in the newspaper.
It's just a great point Cowherd made. I'm glad you brought it up because I actually, believe it or not, I texted him right after I saw that, just saying, yo, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, hope you're well. Your fucking Jimmy clip was hilarious. And he's like, thanks, man. Say what's up to Covino.
Confidence goes a long way.
Yo, it's...
And when other people cut
down...
down...
false confidence or real confidence? Or does it not matter?
It feeds itself. Just like when other people cut down your confidence, that also goes a long way.
Well, to get off of his point a little bit, but it's the same thing. When someone doesn't have that confidence growing up, they do get discouraged with failure. His whole point was that Garoppolo is never really threatened by much because his whole life he's sort of been the handsome, cool guy. So even when he struggles in areas of his life, he never gets too down on himself. Which is a crazy thought, right?
It does apply, in the opposite sense too sometimes, though, because by no means am I comparing myself to Jimmy G. Guy has fucking got a magical smile, but I've been pretty blessed and fortunate and have had a pretty easy breezy life, right? So when obstacles do face me sometimes, as my mom would say, I drown in a glass of water because I'm really not prepared to deal with those sort of obstacles because I never had to. Example yesterday, I've had perfect eyesight my whole life. The minute it's blurry, my life is falling apart. I'm dying. Right? So, but I do agree with Colin Cowherd immensely. And when you think back, there is something to be said about quarterback face. Just looking at that guy, he has leadership qualities, and he had those qualities because he was a good-looking little boy, and he would be like, yeah, I'm the quarterback. And every other little mutant little boy was like, yeah, I guess he is.
I mean, it's no secret. There's been studies upon studies upon studies that not just in sports, that popular people, or not even popular, but like attractive people succeed and rise faster and higher than most curmudgeons.
Yeah, but people don't take that truth lightly or kindly sometimes. I don't know why.
It's unfortunate, and there are exceptions, but you have to work 10 times harder to push through those exceptions.
100% Spot. People say, well, what about the Mannings? Exceptions. They're a remarkable family where everyone in that family has played in the NFL, and Arch Manning is going to be maybe better than all of them, who's what? That's Peyton's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go real quick. I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing, but like, if you go through the league, quarterbacks are fucking
Tom Brady's so handsome.
Cool guys. Russell Wilson, cool dude. Garoppolo, handsome guy.
That smile.
Matthew Stafford, handsome guy. Kyler Murray, handsome dude.
Puts a tingle in my
Newton,
Stafford.
Handsome guy. Matt Ryan, handsome fucking older white dude. Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, fucking handsome. Tom Brady, Jesus Christ. Jared Goff, California kid, now in Detroit, handsome guy. Justin Fields, smooth motherfucking brother. Kirk Cousins, handsome white guy. Aaron Rodgers, handsome enough white guy, right? Daniel Jones, Heineke, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott's fucking might be one of the most handsome. They're all cool guys.
That's why
it's crazy.
Yeah, when an Eli Manning beats a Tom Brady, there's something very underdog like that because he's a goon, and you see the goon beat the handsome guy. There's something about that. That's why it's so memorable.
Look at the two of you. Your charm and handsomeness, while it's also coupled with talent, which helps, has carried you a long way. Your charm and handsomeness has really pushed through. And look at the struggle that occurs when the dorky.
We work in radio.
But I'm saying, but you still were. Yeah, I know. But you did TV.
Saying I'm the most handsome guy in pop radio is saying like I'm the hottest girl, like a fucking ugly girl bar. That's
anyway.
Like,
And look at the struggle that you guys have.
I'm the hottest girl that works at Applebee's.
Look at the struggles
I'm the
that
hottest girl that works at Applebee's. Oh, thanks. Oh no, I'm the hottest MMA girl.
Look at the struggles that the two of you have had when the chubby underdog has kind of risen a little bit. It's been a struggle for you guys. So
Oh yeah, we very much struggle with you.
I think it has
going
been
to the gym for a year.
It has.
So.
Been. See,
I think it has less to do with your muscles and more to do with your attitude. To be honest,
because you don't like.
I'll let that slide.
Because you don't like the fucking.
I'll let that slide. But when
you don't like you hate the fact that like the little buddy's gone. You hate that. You want the little guy brushed in the background. You're like, beat it, little kid, beat it, little buddy.
So
I'm in the spotlight.
Look at Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, Teddy Bridgewater. You can only there's only a few ugly quarterbacks in the league. Trevor Lawrence is like a peculiar looking guy, and that's been pointed out. Like, yo, he looks like a fucking Muppet with long hair. But he has to have exceptional talent.
Yeah. It always boggled me that Tony Gonzalez wasn't. Why wasn't he a quarterback? He had quarterback face.
Baker Mayfield, fucking handsome guy. Trevor, what's his name? Joe Burrow, handsome guy. Before he was.
When you think about that level of swag,
Deshaun Watson, come on.
The Joe Namaths of the world, the Doug Flutys of the world, like they all have that same sort of Dan Marino's. They have that same sort of arrogance and confidence in their face that I completely understand. I know where Colin's coming from. And again, it's all relative proximity. If you're comparing us to Mongrel and Bart in the radio industry, yeah, I'll take that. But with that comes a lot of people who don't take you serious. So you have to prove people that you have the talent behind that. And Jimmy G has done that. So I thought it was a great take, and I'm sure an unpopular one, but it's accurate. And props to Colin Cowherd for bringing that shit up. Quarterback face, and to the point where it's a real thing now that they talk about, that scouts talk about. Yeah, he's got that. Hey, how's his arm? His arm's pretty good, but he's got that face. Oh, okay.
Let's see here. Quarterback face, very funny. Yes, I thought it was a pretty cool take. Andrew Luck. Yeah, people saying there's a few exceptions. I was a tackle. I was a tackle in high school. Makes sense. I have tackle face. Dropping the not a surf reference. Good one, Covino. That's from Kenneth.
What you don't want is center face.
Yeah, you got to have skills to make the NFL, David. But the point is, these things start early. Like, who, like no offense, but the ugly little girl's not going to get the lead in the school play. So when you say, well, that's weird, a lot of actresses are beautiful because you know what? From an early age, they sort of had that advantage, right? I mean, it sounds obvious, but I think we don't really think about that.
Right. It's not coincidence that like all the best actors and singers have the best voices and best talent.
Hey, Spot, is it
pretty
peculiar to you? Like, you don't think it's a little more tricky for a Jonah Hill to break through into Hollywood than it is for?
Well, look at how he broke through.
Ryan Reynolds.
Look at how he broke through as the chubby guy, the fat guy, and he never lived that down. And people still ask him that. Like, remember when that clip floats around where he lost that weight, and he's like, how's it feel to not be, or still be considered like the fat friend or the fat guy or all that? And like, that's a stigma that he tried to break, but that's how he made it into acting.
You don't think Adele? Yeah. You don't think Adele had to be exceptional to be a 30-year-old heavy woman that's singing ballads to make it? You don't think
Ed Sheeran? Like, that's where talent. You lead with talent.
Ed Sheeran is the best example. Like, you don't think it sounds terrible, but you don't think it's easier for fucking Ariana Grande to have a great voice than it is for Adele to have a great voice?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hey, to put that in perspective, Rich, right? To round off the conversation, and I do want to hear more feedback. Think of how good goofy ass neckbeard Andrew Luck had to be to play over fucking the handsome kid that he was competing against.
Yeah.
His whole life.
Yeah.
You know, there was a kid in his high school who was like, but I have quarterback face. And Andrew Luck was like, I'm just so much fucking better than you, bro.
Yeah. And some kid was like, I'm Trip McNeely. I should be the quarterback. And it's like, yeah, you see the mutant kid that looks like he's from the movie Ice Age? Yeah, that guy, Andrew Luck, he's gonna be the quarterback. Yeah, but I'm Johnny Football Hero.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Trent Dilfer didn't win the Super Bowl. He was along for the ride. He was ugly. Let's see. Matt Ryan? I think, Matt Ryan's your conventionally good-looking middle-aged white guy. Like, is Matt Ryan's not ugly?
Again, it's all proximity. Wherever he grew up, right? Like, he was probably the guy. So he had that confidence all along the way.
Fucking Dan Marino.
You could say he's
Dan Marino. Fucking women. I mean, Dan Marino, one of the greatest of all time. But if you don't think Dan Marino had quarterback face, the guy was in commercials. He was in Ace Ventura. Women fucking love Dan Marino.
Men
had
adored
hair
him.
on that guy.
Women loved him. Men wanted to be him.
Well, Rich, I thought while you go over the feedback, I thought this would be a perfect conversation to transition into that video Spot sent us to, which is something we've seen before, but this guy did a funny job doing it. It involves quarterbacks, another sort of TikTok viral video. And we still welcome the feedback about quarterback face, but it's like the unspoken truths of life, to be honest. And we see it in the arts, we see it at the workplace, we see it in the NFL.
Guys ready?
Yeah.
Spot, you want to set up the
I don't
clip?
know. No. Oh, I thought you were going to set it. No, it's just dude, someone actually sent this to me. It's a guy that's going through all the quarterbacks in the league, but he's applied a filter to them so they look like females. They look like girls. And
now, we've seen all of these because when people were doing the age filters and the switch your sex filters like a year ago or whatever, we saw these. But this guy, I think he came up with a game with like, how many beers would you have to to fuck these quarterbacks as women?
Right. How many? Which I think is funny. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me turn the sound up.
To another episode of How Many Beers Would It Take? Gonna kick it off with the king, or in this case, the queen, back when she lived in Boston. Nice hair, face, ugly, teeth a little bit too big for her mouth. Give about 9 beers.
That's a good assessment.
Next up, we got Patricia Mahomes.
Oh, I would.
Other than the stubble on her chin and above her lip, damn! I like to taste what that Kansas City barbecue tastes like. 2 beers. Next, we got Rachel Wilson. She looks like the best friend in every Disney movie. I say 10 beers. Next, we got Jessica Garoppolo.
Ooh.
Water. Oxygen. From the best looking to the worst looking, Bianca Roethlisberger. Damn, you ugly. You gotta finish the case with this one. 24-pack, easy. Next, we got Maya Ryan. She looked like the cool mom that does yoga unless you smoke weed and drink beers, as long as nobody drives. I give it 4 beers. Next, we got Rachel Tannehill. She looked like a good Christian mom. She wouldn't give me the time of day because she's already married. Probably wouldn't even be out at the bar. But if I had to, I'd probably say 7 beers. Next, we got Becky Mayfield.
Ooh.
She got full pouting lips. She looked like a country artist that's up and coming. I say about 3 beers. Next, we got Aaron Rodgers, E-R-I-N. She just looks like a basic white girl. I gotta go double digits. I'd say 11 beers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Next up, we got Destiny Carr. She just left the trailer park, doesn't talk to her parents anymore, and moved to Vegas. Gotta go double digits on this one. 14 beers.
That's it.
Megan Stafford, what you do with all them teeth, girl? 15 beers. Danielle Jones. She's got a pretty face.
Ooh.
Wide shoulders. She might have been a swimmer. Might be able to outlift me, too.
Squeeze your
I
thighs.
say 7 beers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kendra Cousins.
Jeez.
She looks recently divorced. Might be out on the scene looking for some young tail. But that also might come with the clap. I'm going 9 beers. Dakota Prescott.
Ooh.
She kind of looked like Ariana Grande if she rode the short bus. I still say single digits. I'll go 6 beers. Next, we got Tammy Tagovailoa. She pretty cute. I'd say probably 8 beers. Samantha Darnold just got out the ICU from a car crash.
Jesus.
Damn. She does have nice hair, so I'm not going to say the entire case, but 22 beers. Josephina Burrow. This looks like a mugshot, but she's just like a basic white girl too. I'm still going to go, I'll go high single digits. I'll go 9 beers. Welcome back to another.
What do you think? Fair assessments?
Funny as hell, man. I like
good.
There you go. Some quarterback faces.
Rich, would you bang female Jimmy G?
Josephina Garoppolo. Wait. Was it Janina Garoppolo?
Yeah.
Whoever it was. Yeah. I thought the 2 hottest might have been Garoppolo and Prescott.
Prescott was pretty hot.
I don't know.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Daniel Jones. He wasn't so.
Oh, Covino, your mic wasn't working. Go ahead.
I said Daniel Jones was looking kind of fly,
right?
Looking kind of hot, but he was a little wide in the shoulders.
Who was that?
Daniel Jones.
Oh, Daniel Jones.
So, quarterback face. I like the hot take by Cowherd. I agree with it. Think about your high school. Think about college. Think about every stage where you went to school. Who was your quarterback? Chances are, good-looking person. No harm in it. The end. The end. Now, we talked about ass at the gym.
Talked about a lot of ass today and the gym today.
Talked a lot of butt. Oh, by the way, Spot, I sent you a picture. Since Covino's not here, Covino, I use that as an opportunity to I use that as an opportunity to use your setup in the studio for my dad life Elf on the Shelf. And Emmy made you a little video. Spot, do you want to play the little video or no?
Did you email it to me?
I did.
Oh, I thought you just sent me that other video.
Emailed it to you. Like you ask.
Oh, that was the video you sent me? I thought you sent me the video of me flopping on the ground. We'll get to that in a second.
I sent you that one too. There's a video we forgot to talk about where Spot fell. We'll play that one too, but a little palate cleanse. Chippy the elf, which is the family elf on the shelf. I used your setup today, Covino, for Chippy. Emmy woke up and she's like, "Where's Chippy?" I'm like, "You got to look for him."
Give me a sec.
What's the easiest way for me to send these to you, Spot? Moving forward, you have them.
It's videos that aren't online. Like videos from your phone are very they're tricky to kind of institute in OBS. Just so you know, moving forward, like YouTube things, TikTok is sometimes a little bit difficult, but like actual video files to stream them in just gets to be a pain in the ass. I'm sorry.
Okay. I just don't want people to think we're unprepared.
No, it just takes a second to. That's the video you sent me. That's the video you sent me. That's the only video I got. So that's why I didn't think that was the video you sent. Sorry.
I sent you another one.
And
I have
Steve,
it here.
I can't hear you.
I'll send it again.
The show's falling apart.
But if you want to see Spot falling, that's the sort of indicates the last 2 minutes anyway. Covino, is your mic off? Your mic's not working. Your mic isn't working. Spot.
There we go.
What happened?
When it restarted, it went on mute. I don't know. But that was from Rich's gingerbread house party. Out of nowhere, we're all chilling out, having a good time, boozing and schmoozing, and Spot falls out of his chair. And it's such an embarrassing moment. We all start laughing and pointing. No wonder he hates us. And we're laughing and pointing and like, and he immediately justifies that. I'm not drunk. I've only had one drink. He sat at the edge of the chair and it slid out from underneath him. And he fell at the party. And like, the whole party stopped just to see if he was okay. It was kind of funny. We laughed with him, not at him.
Play that video again so people could see you falling on your butt, Christmas party style.
You're swole. It's swole. It's swole. I'm not even drunk. I'm not even drunk.
Hell.
Well, he laid there for a few seconds too, so that was the aftermath. But the seat went sliding across the room. The shit was loud. It was funny. That was a few days ago. But what was the video of Emmy? Just describe it to me.
No, she found your. I'll send it again to Spot. She found her Chippy the elf in your setup today.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, Steve's not here. And she's like, wait a minute, what's going on? So I just sent that to Spot. So you can play it a little later. So something else I want to bring up, one more quick little note about sports. You were talking about quarterback phase. You were talking about last night. The games weren't very good, Covino. Without some of their starters, it was sort of unfair for Washington. But I get it. It's COVID world now we live in, right? So that game stunk. And Russell Wilson put up a fight for a little bit. And then you just realize that the Rams are good. And the Seahawks just have a lot of work to do in the offseason. Like, what's going to happen with Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson? DK Metcalf, for the first time ever, looked like super frustrated being there. So it's like, well, what does that mean? Are they going to work this out in the offseason or not? So you'll see.
And we're seeing, not only are we seeing the like a shift in the world of the Seattle Seahawks, it's their first ever losing season under Russell Wilson as quarterback. So
yeah, it's wild because they're just not good. And
right
in the past, when he had a stacked offensive line and the defense was lights out, you have a little more. You know what it is, Covino? It's the amount of wiggle room you have to make mistakes. And Russell Wilson just has he has no ability to make mistakes now because every little mistake is amplified because the team stinks around him. He's been able to cover for the team for years when they have had shortcomings.
Yeah.
But now there's just too much. Like if you watched any last night, like he rolls out of the pocket, he scrambles, he'll dip and juke a few guys, and then just there's still no one open, so he's like taking a sack. Like you never saw Russell Wilson sack, right?
Nah, there's not much you could do. You know, he's doing his best. He's still Russell Wilson. Again, he's an unhealthy coming off an injury, Russell Wilson, but he's got no one helping him either. So,
yeah. Well, if you want, we could Spot, you could play that video and then we'll move on if that's cool. See there?
I don't know. I don't think he's there. No.
Chippy's using his microphone?
I think he's working.
You think he's working? I think he's working too. Silly Chippy.
Oh, that's great, bro. I don't know why Chippy has to be junking
his microphone?
my microphone like that. But...
Junking your mic.
Yeah. You think he's working? I think he's working too.
So
hey, he's working my mic all right. But that's great though.
Yeah.
It's hilarious how he's again thrusting his junk into, his little elf junk into my mic. But
yeah,
that's great. That's the best.
Right there, all over your microphone. Elf junk.
Elf junk.
One last thought about football, sports, life. I saw Jason Brown, who loves to post controversial stuff. He wrote something to the effect of Tom Brady gets special treatment. He's like, look at all these guys that have got taunting penalties and gotten in trouble. Meanwhile, Tom Brady starts screaming back and forth with one of the Saints coaches, and nothing happens.
Cursed at him, right?
Yeah. They cursed at each other, yeah.
I mean, look, you sort of earn that same way LeBron has, right? It's not just in football. It's not just Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, there's two factors. Number one, taunting when you make the play is different than screaming and cursing back and forth, because that, in my opinion, probably happens every play or so where people are jawing at each other. Taunting is designed for, I made a big play, like in your face, bitch. Like that's taunting. Tom Brady and a coach screaming and cursing back and forth, is that taunting? If anything, wouldn't it be like offsetting penalties or something if they wanted to do it? Like Tom Brady and a coach yelling at each other is not taunting.
I forget who it was, but it happened last night. I saw the highlights where some wideout or tight end, I forget who it was, clearly had a height advantage on the defensive back. And he called him out as like, too short for me. You're too short. You saw that? He was taunting him.
Yeah.
Too small, man. You can't cover me. He was being heightist. He was height shaming in the middle of the play. That's taunting.
But I don't think Tom Brady was taunting. But my thought is simple. Hey, not everyone's created equal. I said in the beginning of the show, yes, under the law and God created all of us or whatever you believe, yeah, we're all equal. One nation under God, equal. Yeah. You don't want to prejudice someone based on their sex or background or race or anything like that. But to say everyone gets the same treatment is just like a hilarious thought. Like, really? You think you get the same treatment at your job that someone else got? That's more important than you or less important than you? A great example, I saw Ian Rappaport, who to me looks like a smug jerk. I don't know. I never met him, but doesn't he seem like smug?
Yeah, he's got a smugness. He's got smug face.
Yeah. Ian Rappaport was going on and on about like, hey, listen, if Urban Meyer was like, I don't know, 6-8 right now, and Trevor Lawrence was showing like improvement and progress, no one would give a fuck about the girl dancing on his lap. No one would care about him yelling at the team. He goes, you don't think there's NFL coaches that are dicks that yell at players and are terrible? Yeah, but guess what? Urban Meyer didn't earn those free passes. If you found out Bill Belichick kicked his kicker, had a girl dancing on him, and was a dick, would people be saying, oh, fire Bill Belichick? No,
not at all. We've established this throughout the past few months. Winning is the ultimate cure for any bad press and for bad behavior and bad results. They go away when you're winning.
Yeah. So if Urban Meyer just failed as a coach. Urban Meyer's off the field shit, yeah, a little questionable, but a lot of people are guilty of it. But when you're not delivering the product,
I mean, bro, think of Spygate. I mean, Bill Belichick was in a lot of controversy in his career, but it all went away because he kept winning.
Yeah. Look at everyone. Like, do you think at SiriusXM, Howard Stern gets the same treatment as some coordinator that's loading music for a channel? No. Do you think Bill Belichick gets the same treatment as another coach that has the losing resume? No. Do you think LeBron James gets the same foul calls as a rookie? No. There's a famous clip. Have you seen the famous clip where Michael Jordan's on the Wizards towards the end of his career? And he goes up to the ref and he's like, yo, that guy fouled me. And he's like, you sure, Mike? He's like, yeah. Foul. Like, and he's fucking just taking Michael Jordan's word for it at that time.
Yeah.
Like, it's to think that we're all, quote, equal is just not, it's simply not true in the workplace and in life. Yes, equal in the sense of we're all human beings and should treat each other with respect and no one should be prejudiced. But to think that you're going to get the same treatment as the veteran or...
Well, that's where the problem lies, though, Rich, because no one wants to be talked down to. And then you have a logical conversation and say, yeah, but there is a hierarchy. He's your boss.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, but I don't like this guy telling me what to do. He's an asshole. And he's like, yeah, but he's above you in the workplace. Yeah, but not in real life. It's like, yeah, but you have to accept this dynamic, but people don't want to play by those rules anymore, which I understand. But you know, then how does it work? Your boss has to walk on eggshells to get you to perform. You know, how does that work then? Real life rules don't apply in the workplace.
It doesn't. And you see it across the board. If, let's say, it's a star of a TV show. If the star of a TV show on set is an asshole, they have to do a hell of a lot more than the extra or part-timer or like person with the character arc. They have to do a hell of a lot more to cause a stir.
Jeff Garlin, most recently.
They
say this guy was bullying. You know, he was fired or he left because of bullying and harassment.
And the reality was, from the more you read, Garland was ready to leave the show anyway. I promise you that if he wanted to stay, and it would have been cleared up for him because he's fucking Murray Goldberg.
I bet you're right. Yeah.
But just a reminder, don't take it personally. Do you think you get the same treatment as the veteran at your job, man or woman? No. Do you think players get the call? Do you think a veteran quarterback gets a late hit call that a rookie doesn't? Yes, they do. They haven't earned it yet. If Joe Burrow has, even when you hear the NFL films like mic'd up, they've joked about it. These young quarterbacks like, I'll get that call one day. Because they know they're not going to get it yet. So to say everyone's equal is just silly.
But as we talked about earlier in the show, a lot of the people in our society got a taste of what it was like to not work. And now they don't want to go back to work because they're thinking, well, to go back and work for a guy that doesn't treat me as an equal. And there's power in that too, because if people band together and say, yeah, I'm not going back to work where things aren't equal and I'm not getting paid X amount, if they hold out enough, we're heading toward more of an equal sort of society. I just don't know how that's going to all pan out. I'm interested in seeing how that all works out in the future, because people have taken the stand of, yeah, I don't play by your fucking office rules anymore. You know, and we've seen it in sports and we've seen it in life. So what, a boss isn't supposed to tell you what to do anymore.
Now, someone that had bad reputation has...
By the way, I just want to make this clear too, because I could feel the feedback. That doesn't give the boss the right to be a jerk off or to kick you like Urban Meyer did. But, you know, he's still your boss, but people don't want to play by those rules.
No. People want to make it seem like Well, it's we're all equal. We're all equal in this scenario. No, you're not. If you're all equal, if everyone was equal, there wouldn't be first class or a VIP section
or maybe Rich, we just have an old, outdated way of thinking. You know what I mean? And there's a newer way to look at things that I'm just having a hard time with, and I'll be the first to admit that.
Now,
what do you think?
It could be. It could be. I just think that we're never going to go, no matter how much the younger generation is like, we're all in this together. It's just never going to be the case because, again, there's first class, there's VIP sections, there's perks and benefits. There's, it's how we operate that way in society. No one, unless we were just one big socialist country where everyone was equal, and got the same thing, then it's never going to exist that way. Now, we've talked about this before, but did you see James Franco broke his 4-year silence?
I didn't. No. Tell me about it.
He said he didn't.
I like James Franco prior to his controversy.
He said, I didn't want to hurt people. And he opened up about his sex addiction and admits he slept with former students at his acting school. So I wonder, is dipping away for a while and then saying, I had a sex addiction, his way to dip out of this, I guess?
I mean, when you get counseling, part of it is accepting the issues, right? And accepting who you are. But it does seem like this is always this sort of crutch or scapegoat out of the controversial scenario, to say that you had an addiction or to say you had a problem. But, maybe he did. The guy had a lot of options and he was capitalizing on them. Not everybody does that. So I don't know, man. I used to view that as, yeah, that's just some bullshit you're saying to be forgiven. But maybe it is a problem. I don't know, man.
He said sex is a powerful drug. He got hooked on it. He said he has cheated on everyone before his current relationship. He can never be faithful. Franco said he became, quote, completely blind to power dynamics or anything like that, but also became blind to people's feelings. He's been working on himself. I don't want to hurt people. In fact, I wasn't really a one-night stand type of guy. People that I got together with, I dated. I had seen them for years.
Okay, hold on. Now, if we're all equal, how is there such a thing as a power dynamic? I know there used to be one, but what happens in the future?
I don't know. He said, over the course of my teaching, I did sleep with students, and that was wrong. But like I said, it's not why I started the school, and I wasn't the person that selected the people to be in the class. It was it was no master plan on my part. Pretty much just saying, like, he was a horny dude that, can't keep in his pants. He has a sexual addiction that he's working on. And again, I'm not saying it's bullshit, but I'm just saying, like, when you say, oh, it's an addiction, that is sort of a way where, who could really question it at this point? It's like, listen, I had a problem. I can't keep it in my pants. It's psychological, mental health. Once you start bringing in, like, those type of aspects, not sound insensitive, but don't you get people to back off?
Oh, 100%. It doesn't make it not real, but, in the back of your mind, this is the best way to be forgiven, too. Accountability and saying you had an addiction.
Saying you had an issue or an addiction or something to do with mental health and that you're sorry and you're getting help. I'm sure, I hate to sound jaded, but I'm sure there's some type of strategy there for him to get back in people's good graces, no?
I agree with you. I do.
And it's not that it's wrong either. What is he going to do? He's probably sorry and probably doesn't realize that, like...
No, it's like you know what it is, Rich? It's like the letter of apology. Anytime someone gets some heat because they did some unpopular shit, we're waiting as the public now for the apology. And you're never really forgiven until you get that public acknowledgement and apology and letter and shit like that. And a lot of times we know it's bullshit, but it's what they had to do to move forward, right?
And you get it. We all understand that. You're like, I get why they're doing it, right? You're like, I know why you're apologizing publicly.
So although it may be true, it's also part of the process that the public needs. Oh, he had an addiction. Okay. We forgive him now.
Okay. Yeah, he's now we see he's seen the error of his ways.
Yeah. Speaking of, man, this is totally off topic, but again, we're seeing hypocrisy right before our eyes. Society's backward makes no sense whatsoever because, like we just said, in the same breath, we're all equals. Yet there's the power dynamic. You know what I mean? That we succumb to. Which one do you want? Do you want to say that you were part of a power dynamic or that we're all equals? Where does society head? I don't get it. I don't know. I was talking to some dude. We were in mixed company recently, and it just goes to show you the misconception that people have of us or of you sometimes. And this guy was telling me how he slept with 2,000 women. I was like, oh, good for you. But he was like, yeah, I'm sure you're right there with me. And I'm like, nah, I'm not at all. But continue with your story. Like
2,000.
I was sort of taken by that.
2,000.
Yeah. I was like,
a lot. I mean, that's a fucking lot of people.
And then it dawned on me, like, while this guy's telling the story, I'm not even listening anymore. I'm still focused on this guy just dropped 2,000 on me. And I'm thinking,
2,000?
It's like when people bring up money, it's like people that have that kind of money don't necessarily bring up that kind of money. You know what I mean? So I'm like, for him to drop a number like that, I'm not sure I believe it. But at the same time, he was assuming that I was relating to him. And I'm like, yeah, dude, not even fucking in the realm of thousands. But continue with your story. Okay. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, 2,000. Do the math on that.
You made me think of that when we talked about James Franco and the amount of ass that he got.
No, I mean, do the math, right? Let's say from the time you're 18 to 40. What is that? 22 years?
Dude, anytime people drop numbers, whether it be dollars, partners, anytime, I think they're full of shit. Like a radar goes off, their IQ. If they, okay, sure. I think they're lying all the time.
I mean, I never know when someone's full of shit or not, but I'm just saying, do the math. 22. So from 8, this is saying that you never had a long-term relationship, right? So if you were perpetually single from the time you were 18 to 40, right? That's 22 years. What do you think a single guy that's a fucking sex addict, do you think he fucks how many girls a month?
That's why I was tying both of those stories together. I'm like, if James Franco was a sex addict, like how many are we talking about here?
But I'm saying, like, what would you say is a fair number? If you're
a month,
4? Once you find a new girl each week?
No, more than that. I would think more than that. Yeah.
All right, options. So two girls a week.
I'd say that's on the lower side of things, because.
But I'm talking different women, not like
you're probably
like,
always on the prowl.
But there's always going to be some girl that's like fun to hook up with that you're going to go back to if you're probably a sex addict or regulars in the rotation. I'm talking different people.
All right, let's say 2 a week for fun.
2 a week. So that's 4 a month, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 8 a month.
8 a month.
8 times. All right, so 8 times 12.
72.
96.
96. I mean.
So 96 times 22 years of doing that. That's 2,000 people. So if the guy you spoke to from the time he was a senior in high school till the time he was 40, never had a serious relationship and fucked 2 different women a week, he'd hit 2,000. Seems unrealistic, but that would be the number.
But here's a guy all proud of it. And then there's James Franco who's saying, yeah, I got a problem. So just interesting.
It's only a problem. It's only a problem if you get caught, and it's only a problem if it affects you in some way. That's so many things in life. Like you only call it a problem if it fucks you up. Right?
Yeah, you can't handle it. Like gambling, for example. It's very commonplace now. It becomes a problem when you bet the kid's college fund and lose the house.
Yeah, you could be like, I lost a couple $100 on the Seahawks last night. Yeah, no big deal if a couple $100 means nothing to you. But if a couple $100 was the money you designated to pay your fucking car insurance, now you got a problem.
Exactly. So James Franco's all forgiven. Does it have anything to do with the timing of Spider-Man?
I do not know. He had an interview on SXM, where he exposed his checkered past.
I always like them. Hey, we forgive people. We love to give people a second chance in society, and I think a lot of times they deserve it. I don't know how much damage he did to other people's lives, so if it was significant and severe, I say that loosely.
Loosely.
But we love a good comeback story.
Let's see. I want to see if you want to do a quick friend in need before we get out of here or not.
Sure. I'm chilling like a villain, dude. I don't know where Spot went, but
yeah, I don't know where he went either. He must have had a massive explosive shit or something.
But I'm good, man. Yeah, I got nothing to do. Just some turbo, and otherwise I'm chilling in Idaho. Hope you guys are enjoying the show.
Some woman left us a comment. And
was it Lisa Louise?
No, it wasn't. It was seemed like sort of a friend in need. Though they said it wasn't a friend in need. But I was like, yeah, it seems like a friend in need. I asked Spot to pull it up, but since Spot disappeared, I got to find it now.
Yo, Spot working on his magic sideshow?
Maybe. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, you can't just walk away. I can't just walk away, but I guess he just walk away.
He just disappeared. Abracadabra.
Just like that great magician in Frosty, which I watched last night. Your sister hit me up saying that's her favorite too. The Happy Birthday, Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty's great, yeah.
It's fucking great. 25 minutes of just fucking greatness. It really is just like a really likable, quick cartoon. I like it better than the claymation Rudolph, which I'm watching with the kids tonight. And something else I'm doing today, I'm doing the Santa Claus call with our buddy Tim, who does Jolly Tim. He does Jolly Santa. His little Zoom Santa Claus sit downs.
I love that. Look up Tim the producer if you want to get a little phone call to your kid. I think he's all booked up though, but that's always a fun moment. Tim the producer.
Let's see. Not a friend in need, just a place I could say shit. This is from, we'll call her, well, her name is Jane Doe, so I'm guessing Jane Doe Smith is her fake name anyway. She goes, I miss a friend of mine. I pissed him off. He pissed me off. Now neither of us communicate. It sucks. Romantic relationships, you tend to know when to let go. But when you have friendships, you don't really know how or when to let go. Or did you really let it go? We shouldn't let it go. Should we let it go? Not too many people you could find where you have bonds with. Let's see. I would read it, but she just used a lot of emojis. Like she's using a lot of like finger crossing and hearts and smiley faces. Because I don't sleep, I post a lot of weird shit. I'll probably delete this later, but pretty much asking, when you had a falling out with someone, I pissed them off, they pissed me off. They don't communicate anymore. Do you make the first move or do you just chalk it up like, nah, it's over?
I got to be honest. I never had a falling. I'm not the one to speak on this. I mean, it's a great question and a great conversation, and I'll do my best to discuss. I've never had this experience. You know, you've had friendships that faded away, but I never had a friendship that wasn't
falling out, so to say.
Yeah, I never had a falling out. I mean, unless, of course, it was a romantic relationship that I was in. I never had a friendship where I was like, you know what? Fuck you, man. I'm done with this. Yeah, I never had that. Of course, maybe you grow apart and it fades away and you lose contact, or you lost contact because you didn't see eye to eye anymore. But it was never like, well, I'm done with you, and that's it. You know, the closest thing that I could even think of is our former producer, because he was a friend, not just our producer. Mm-hmm. And it was never like, well, fuck you then. It was just a disappointing sort of departure. Therefore, I said farewell, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. And I didn't like some of the things he did, but I still considered him a friend and would still talk to him and reach out. I never had this experience, man.
I mean, we saw our old producer Sammy J in Chicago, and I felt like that wasn't awkward at all.
That's what I mean. You know, I still had considered him a friend, even though we didn't communicate, and even though it was awkward.
That's why when this woman brings up this point, there's a part of me that's like, maybe there's no hard feelings that are being harbored, and you're both just being silly. Like, I had a buddy that I went to college with. We sort of faded away, but not for any real reason. Like, yo, I lived in New York. He lived in Boston.
Normal. Yeah.
And it was like, yo, we were really tight in college. And we'd see each other every so often. And then it got to the point where we're like, yo, man, like a year had passed where we haven't even texted or called. More time passed. He got married, and I never went to his wedding. And I was like, that was probably the nail in the coffin. I fucking skipped his wedding. And I was like, he probably fucking hates me. And I hit him up on Facebook maybe 5 years ago. Like, hey, man, hope you're well. He's like, yo, bro, I was thinking about you too. Hope you're well too, man. We had so many great times back in the day. And I'm like, yo, look at that. No, it's no hard feelings. We just fucking faded. And there was nothing. I, in my mind, created a scenario where I was like, yo, he probably fucking hates me. I skipped his wedding. We haven't talked. Oh.
Yeah. I say no harm and no shame. Again, coming from little experience in this world. Believe it or not, you know, because I could see people thinking that I've had falling outs, and I haven't. I find no shame in being the person. I don't even think it requires you being that big of a person to reach out and just so quick. How do you do out there? Hey, man, you know, life is moving quick. Sorry I haven't reached out, but wishing you the best, man. Hope you're well, especially now around the holidays. Merry Christmas, man. How you been? Bam. I mean, especially in a world where you could so easily reach out through social media, like it doesn't take that much effort, and it doesn't require you to be that big of a guy or a person to do that. I find it to be, like you said, Rich, silly.
Yeah. So a lot of times you create
even though I'm playing, what is the game we called it when you're on Facebook and you don't want a friend suggest somebody? Friend request somebody?
Oh, yeah. You're like playing Facebook standoff. Like you.
Oh, yeah. Even though I'm playing Facebook standoff with one person, he's still my friend, just not on social media.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, to wrap this up, you create more of it in your head than meets the eye. So, like many things in life, you let your mind wander and make it bigger than it really is. So you might be like, oh, man, we haven't talked. And then he had a kid and I didn't really reach out. And then, oh, man, like he probably hates me. Yeah, I guess we're not buds anymore. I bet you if you hit up that guy and you were like, what's up, old pal? Yo, life is moving fast, like Covino said. How you been? Sorry we haven't communicated. As you know, shit gets crazy. He'd probably say, same here, man. And you'd probably have a pretty decent conversation or back and forth texting or something. There's no...
on the flip side, though, there are a few relationships. There are a few friendships, and I'm glad you bring up the whole. You probably created the storyline in your mind. Like I had a really good friend. I know we don't talk about. That's cool. And I do reach out every once in a while to be like, yo, man, that's cool that your daughter's playing softball or whatever, but it's not reciprocated that way. It does make you think, though, is there some resentment that
Colt needs to get his shit together.
Don't even know of? Like, was he mad about some shit that it does make you think, like, did I do something like that? Chances are probably not.
I could hardly hear a word you said.
I didn't hear a word I said. Yeah,
Colton's internet, like someone forgot to keep the potato bicycle going. Then I don't know, keep the internet rolling.
My bad.
So
Can you hear me now?
I think you said you've had friendships where there is a sense of like, oh, maybe the guy is mad because he's a little short with me.
Yeah, it does make you wonder, like, oh, maybe there is something that was never addressed years ago that you were unaware of. Who knows?
I had this feeling when I went back to New York in August, and I'm so glad I stupidly squashed it. So as you know, when I go back east, I see probably too many people, but I always want to make sure I see my high school pals, my family, my radio buds. I try to see as many people as I can because, you know, trips to the East Coast are far and few between. You know, a couple times a year, you might go, maybe twice a year, you might go back to Jersey, Covino. So if you don't see your buddy Gus or say hi to Barry's parents or spend time with your sister or Tommy or, you know, have a nice dinner with your parents. If you don't see those people during that 1 or 2 times you go back home, then what happens? You just fucking don't see him anymore? So last time I went back to the East Coast, I told a friend that I was coming back to the East Coast and I was like, hey, let's try to make a plan. And I feel like you guys even joked that, like, I saw everyone. I went to Montauk with my buddy Sean. I had a party with my high school friends. I had some nice quality time with my dad. I saw my mom and sister. You know, I went to Manhattan. I did a lot of things.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous.
And I tried my best I spread myself very thin, but I don't regret it. I had a great time. I saw everyone I needed to say. I went to the bagel spot I love. I went to my favorite pizza spot. Like, I did as much as I could in that little window I was in New York. But I totally never got back to our buddy Sal. And on a group chat, like, he made a snide comment like, yeah, we should all get together for a dinner. Like, yeah, as long as, like, you know, next time Rich is in New York, he, like, tells us. And I was like, yo, is he joking or butthurt? So I felt like, oh, man, he is butthurt. And I called him, like, a couple weeks later. So I was like, yeah, let me fucking call him. I feel stupid. And we had a great conversation. He's like, oh, man, I was just busting balls, man. I knew you got kids and you're busy, but, man, I would love to see you. But so in my mind, I'm like, oh, fuck, he hates me now. You know?
Yeah, be the bigger person. Reach out. Yeah, squash that, especially around the holidays. Like I said, that's funny, man. I think most of the time you're right, Rich. To wrap it up, most of the time you're right. We've magnified and created this scenario that doesn't even exist.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of our East Coast pals, have you talked to our East Coast buddy Paul?
Yes.
And that he is now engaged.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty cool, man. I met his girl and she's super cool. So I was like, oh man, that's awesome. It just shows how you can meet someone, find happiness. You're a certain age in life, and it's like, well, what am I gonna do? Wait forever, you know? So, what? He met her like a year ago, and they're engaged, and she was fucking cool. She came over to my dad's house and had a drink. It was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah. So reach out to your friend. Don't be a stubborn dick. You guys were friends for a reason. Life is short. All that good stuff.
I think more importantly, you should reach out to Spectrum before tomorrow. I think that's what we should do.
There's other options. It's all good.
Okay. I was gonna say, what did something happen? Is in the last half hour?
Yeah, once we started playing video, everything got messed up. I should probably have to restart or something like that, but
gotcha.
It's all good.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, on that note, it's time anyway. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, being Thursday the 23rd. As I told Emmy, 3 sleeps till Christmas, everybody. 3 sleeps. So enjoy your Wednesday night. Watch some of the classic. Watch Rudolph. Watch Frosty with the kids. Have a good one. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.